Good morning. All righty. I am loving it. All right. Good morning again. Oh, you all are doing well. You must really miss each other. You're cooperative, so we won't take playtime away from you, huh? I know it's been a long time since we've been able to really gather like this, and it's so wonderful to see everyone. My name is Tiffany Sledge. I am the Faculty Senate Chair for the college, and welcome to the 2022-2023 academic year. And to our official fall convocation. Thank you for being here. We'll start today's program with the convocation address from our awesome president, Dr. Marsha Constant. Okay, wait a minute. We're gonna clap several times for her today, but we can do better than that. She got here in the midst of COVID and worked it out. Let's go. Dr. All right, don't be shy, Dr. Constant. This is gonna happen all day today. We're just giving you fair warning. Okay. Following Dr. Constant, we will begin the state of the college reports from the TCC vice presidents, beginning with VP Kurt Asen. Following a 15-minute break, Dr. Michelle Woodhouse will continue the presentations from our vice presidents, after which we'll have our yearly special recognition and rewards. Dr. Constant became the 6th permanent president of Tidewater Community College on January 6, 2020. Dr. Constant has been a passionate advocate of student success and higher education for more than 30 years. With TCC's new mission and vision, Dr. Constant leads bold initiatives and that intersect throughout each area of the college as part of the collaborative strategic plan, Innovate 2026. Throughout her entire career, she has prioritized the student experience, addressing critical needs, modeling goal-focused actions, and encouraging inventive strategies across all aspects of the institutional environment. She went to Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina in 1994 to become the Vice President of Institutional Effectiveness. She knows her stuff, y'all. In 2001, she became the Vice President for Enrollment and Student Success Services at Central Piedmont Community College in Charlotte, North Carolina, a position she held for nearly 20 years. Dr. Constant has also taught throughout her career, serving as a part-time associate professor at Benedict College in 1995 and 1996, and as an adjunct instructor at Wingate University for 2 years beginning in 2012. As an evaluator for the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, Dr. Constant evaluated 14 institutions for reaccreditation, including 2 Virginia community colleges. Her devotion to higher education as a community college president is the culmination, of her intensive work as a student, professor, mentor, accreditation evaluator, and executive at every array of institutions. Dr. Constant holds a bachelor's in psychology and a master's in economics from Jackson State University, a master's of divinity from Hood Theological Seminary, and a PhD from the University of Southern Mississippi. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my extreme pleasure to not introduce you because we know you, Doc, we know you, but please join me again in welcoming our esteemed, our awesome President, Dr. Marsha Constant.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Sledge. Thank you so much for your very kind introduction. And thank you all for your encouragement this morning. I wish my husband was here to see this. I'm so happy that all of you are here today, and I want to say welcome back. The house is full. We're excited about that. And I know that you all have had a very wonderful, relaxed summer with your family and loved ones. So it's great to see all of you here. We're getting ready to get started for a great school year. I wanted to share a little bit with you about just one thing that I did this summer, just to kind of let you know what I've been doing. Many of you may know that my daughter had a baby. And so this is a picture of me at the hospital. This is like minutes, after the baby was born. So I wanted you all to see, well, actually I had a whole slew of pictures, but of course, So let me just say about this picture here. So the picture with in the black, that's my daughter, and that's me in the burgundy with my son well over 30 years ago. And my son decided to put that picture on Facebook, and he wrote a little caption and he said, "Mahari," that's my daughter's name, "Mom was way prettier than you." So we thought that would be a cute little keepsake. And so this next picture, this is what I've really been doing. This is me with the new baby, your awesome president, working the entire summer. And when I'm not working, this is what I was doing. So that has been the story of my summer. But again, it's wonderful to be here this morning and to see all of you. And I know that Dr. Woodhouse, the awesome Dr. Woodhouse, and all of the president's cabinet have really planned a great time for us this morning and throughout the day. I know this week has been wonderful, actually. So today and tomorrow, you will receive an expanded version of what the state of the college in terms of what we saw last week at the administrators meeting. So today you will hear more about what the college is doing, and certainly we have a large audience. But before I start with my comments, just to give you an update from my perspective, I also want to share something else with you, and it's not on the screen, but just a little bit about what has happened with me over the last week since the administrators meeting that we had. And by the way, did everyone get your calendars in your packets? Aren't they beautiful? They're really, really nice. So thank you, Dr. Woodhouse and the marketing staff for putting those together. Thank you. So the other day, I was in my office and preparing for a meeting, and Dr. Woodhouse, sorry, Michelle, I just have to tell this story, decided that, she wanted to come by, which, appropriately so, to meet so that we could kind of go over today's events. She wanted to talk a little bit about the convocation. So that was fine. We had a wonderful meeting discussing items for today. And at the close of the meeting, as she was about to leave, she said to me, she said, "Dr. Constant," she said, "I need to share something with you about your remarks from last week's administrators meeting." So I thought to myself, like, seriously, Michelle, are you really going to talk to the president about her remarks? I'm like, do you really, do you want your job, Michelle? I'm sorry. Do you like working at TCC? So she said to me, she said, everybody was talking about your remarks. Now I don't know if this was true or not. Sorry, my awesome VP here, but I'm sure it was. She said, everybody was talking about your remarks last week. So I said, okay. And she said, did you all get this? She said, everybody was talking about your remarks last week. So she threw the whole college under the bus. She threw the whole administrators meeting under the bus. She said everybody was talking about your remarks. And she said that, she's very kind, Michelle. She said they thought your remarks were really good. And she said that they enjoyed, everyone enjoyed seeing the, how did you do the air quotes, the lighter side of you. So, of course, you know, I've thought about that a lot. You know, what does this mean? So over the next day or so, I talked to my husband. I missed a whole night's sleep thinking about the lighter side. So I translated that to mean that otherwise I'm pretty boring. So today, I hope I can be a little less boring. I started out with pictures, I'm telling jokes, I'm engaged. So I hope I will be a little less boring today. Thank you, Michelle, for your words of wisdom. Thank you. And to all of you who said in a very kind way that you enjoyed my remarks last week. So let me start, excuse me, by recognizing our distinguished and awesome board members who are here with us this morning. And I would like the board members to please stand to be recognized. We have here Ms. Lynn Clements, who serves as our board chair, Mr. Jerome Bynum, Dr. Kurt Houston, Mr. Ron Green is here. And also with us, Ms. Kim McCullum. Thank you all so much. I will tell you, we do have an awesome board. They are very supportive of the college, very much in the community, talking about the great things that are happening here at TCC. So we appreciate you so very much. And we understand if you can't stay the entire time, but just your presence here this morning means a lot to the entire college community. So thank you all so much for your presence. Also, now I would like to have members of the President's Cabinet to please stand and be recognized by your colleagues. We have the amazing Dr. Michelle Woodhouse. Outstanding Vice President Kurt Asen. Please stand. We have the wonderful, wonderful VP, Miss Heather Hardiman. Please stand. And we have the bubbly, energetic, hardworking Vice President for Workforce, Miss Tamara Williams. Please stand. We have our amazing HR Vice President, Associate Vice President, Beth. And the awesome, I know everybody in this room loves Dr. Karen Campbell. Please stand, Karen. And last but not least, we have the man of the hour, Mr. Chris Bryant, our Vice President for Institutional Advancement. I'll have to tell you all about the cabinet. They are amazing. They are collaborative, just wonderful people. And I'm so happy to have such a great team because we're doing amazing things and the leadership is so important. And we couldn't do it without this wonderful team. So thank you all so much for your presence. So now I also want to acknowledge new members who have come to the college. If you're a new employee, who have come since January of 2022. Would you please stand and let us see you this morning if you're new to the college since January? We're so happy that you are a part of this wonderful TCC family. Welcome. And we know, I think that you will be acknowledged again in just a little bit, but we wanted to just welcome you officially this morning. So I will tell you that as president of the college, I am very pleased with the direction that the college is heading. And again, all credit is due to you, to the faculty, the staff, and of course to our college board for your hard work and support, and also to our students. I will tell you that our students are doing a fantastic job in the community as they complete their studies and go off and do their work. And again, that's thanks to the work that you're doing, preparing our students to be able to go into the workforce. Last week, I was at Paul D. Kemp College at a meeting. Several of us were there, and we had a student speaker, and she did an outstanding job, outstanding job. I was on a call yesterday with all of the presidents from the community college system in the Commonwealth, and they were talking about the excellent job that the student from Tidewater Community College did in representing community college students all across the state. So again, thank you all for the great work that you're doing in preparing our students to go out into the world of work. Over the next couple of days, you will receive many updates and details from the vice presidents here. So today, my light remarks will be brief, but I do want to highlight a few points that I hope to inspire and to motivate you as we embark on this new academic year. First of all, of course, the college's strategic plan, Innovate 2026. It will remain our guiding principle during the next few years, and we are committed to our vision. Who knows the vision? Come on, Dr. Snyder, somebody can say it. We know it. Innovation. All right, there you go. Let's give Dr. Snyder a round of applause. For podium, I'm going to ask someone to tell us our vision, because this is our guiding principle, is to be our community's first choice for education, opportunity, partnership, and innovation. So I want to just thank you all again for your efforts as we execute our core values. I'm not going to ask anyone to name the core values, but they're teaching and learning, excellence, diversity, equity and inclusion, community, innovation, empathy, integrity, and accountability. And as president of the college, our vision and these core values are important to me because, of course, this is how we want to measure ourselves, but also this is how our community will, and frankly, how our community should measure us. Last year, during our convocation, I called your attention to one specific core value, and that was the core value of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we talked about hiring a new DEI director whose job would be to view our work through an equity lens with an emphasis on success of marginalized students. And of course, we eventually hired Dr. Claudine Kizart, who works under Kurt's area. She's doing an outstanding job. Dr. Kizart, are you in the room? I know she was here yesterday making a presentation on DEI, but she is very engaged across the college as well as at the state level doing work related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. So this morning, I thought I would highlight the core values of integrity and accountability. And I want us to just kind of stay focused on those core values throughout the year: integrity and accountability. Because we at Tidewater Community College we'll do what we say that we're going to do. We're accountable to ourselves. We're accountable to the community. And we will hold ourselves accountable in that regard. We're going to say what we're going to do, and we're going to do what we say. So let's hold on to integrity and accountability as we go throughout this school year. I also want to say that I am very, very proud of our strategic plan, a plan that many of you worked so hard to put together. It is an audacious document that contains 7 very bold strategic directions. And it also has very clear and measurable goals. And we, of course, know that what gets measured gets done. And I'm confident that we will accomplish our goals as they are outlined in our strategic plan. Our strategic plan will not collect dust on the shelf, nor will it be archived on our website. We're going to stay focused on it, and we're going to rise year by year to accomplish our goals, challenge ourselves to reach our goals, and then year by year, as we accomplish our goals, we're going to celebrate our outcomes together. So thank you all for keeping the strategic plan at the forefront of what we're doing here at TCC. And of course, last week at the administrators conference, at the administrators meeting, Dr. Campbell did an excellent job speaking on the strategic plan, and she's doing very important work along with many of you, the planning committee and others who are keeping us on track with this very important work related to the strategic plan. And I think you may hear more from Dr. Bode, if not today or tomorrow, but certainly over the course of the school year. This morning, you will also receive updates on enrollment from Vice President Kurt Asen. Kurt provides data analyses to the President's Cabinet every week. And I will tell you, to the entire college community, we discuss the numbers in detail, and we are seeing indicators that enrollment is moving in the right direction. But again, of course, that's attributed to your hard work and your engagement with our students, both inside and outside the classroom, because we're focused not only on getting our students in the doors, but also we're focused on student retention. And I want to say a very special thank you to Dr. Karen Campbell and her team, her amazing outreach team, counselors and advisors and student workers, student services staff at all of the campuses, and even the employees who are working online, because Karen, you and your team are really doing an awesome job with our outreach initiatives to get students to the college. So thank you so much for what you're doing. We could not move without you. I know that a lot of your staff are probably not here because they're out seeing students, and we understand that. Thank you so much. This year, we will have a couple of new facilities that will open in 2023 with the support of our college's real estate foundation. We were able to acquire the new Visual Arts Center in Norfolk. Who has seen the building coming up? It's exciting. It's going to be beautiful. So we're looking forward to that. And also with the help of the Real Estate Foundation, we've acquired an additional 12,000 square feet at our existing Skilled Trades Academy that's located in Portsmouth. And I'm sure you will probably hear updates from VP Hardiman and perhaps VP Williams about what's going on with those two facilities as well. I'm also very pleased that Baton Studios will be open at each campus this school year, as well as the restructuring of our grants office. I want to acknowledge, if you're here this morning, Dr. Kelly Gilliland and Ms. Deborah Porter, who are the new Batten Fellows. Congratulations. Congratulations. And I also want to acknowledge Dr. Jennifer Snyder, because under your leadership, Dr. Snyder, in grant writing, we are seeing increasing numbers of grants being written. You are doing an outstanding, magnificent job in leading this effort. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you so much. And I want to encourage all of you in the room to pursue some type of grant writing initiative. Well, Dr. Snyder has additional staff now, so pursue some grant writing initiatives because there are a lot of opportunities available. I want to encourage you in that. Another area that I am working to enhance this year is the area of fundraising. So we've introduced Chris Bryant. He was also introduced last week at the administrators meeting. And I understand that Chris actually jumped on the stage. Did anyone witness that last week? Yeah, well, I understand he did that. So did you really jump, Chris? Oh, just a little bit jump, okay. Well, I will tell you all that Chris is bringing that same energy and that same enthusiasm to the job each day. And it is a pleasure to work with Chris. I was telling my husband last night, this is a little frightening. Every time I write his name, like I'm typing his name, it's C-H-R-I-S, somehow I add a T to it. So I'm like, that gets me a little unnerved. So I'm like, but seriously, Chris is doing a great job. He's doing an outstanding job. He's stepped in and just become a part of the team. And that's exactly the type of people that we want to have at Tidewater Community College. We are working to expand our Educational Foundation Board with new members who have a passion for this college and a view toward philanthropy and scholarship. And we are poised, with Chris's help and certainly with all of your help, to raise significant dollars over the next few years. And of course, we know that money raised to support scholarships, this is critical for our students. Last year, we were able to receive funds from the COVID relief to sort of offset some of our tuition and other expenses that our students have. But those funds are now gone. So it is important to continue to support our current and prospective students. And we know that the majority of our students have critical financial needs. So fundraising and friend raising will be one of my top priorities going into this school year as well. And I will say that we will not only look to raise money for our curriculum students, but also our CTE, curriculum CTE, but also our workforce students as well, because a lot of our students have tremendous need and we really do need to offset the costs that students are having to pay to attend school. And so scholarships will be a very big priority for me. And my final comments this morning really are about engaging and transparency. This year, I plan to be even more intentional to maximize my exposure. This past school year, I visited campuses, many of the campuses, all of the campuses, a couple of times, I think, to hold presidents' forums. But going forward, I do plan to maximize my exposure college-wide by communicating even more with the president's newsletter, having more increased visits to our campuses and to our centers, And we want to make sure that in doing this, that we demonstrate absolute transparency about what's going on at the college. I realize that TCC is a very large institution, and unless we communicate frequently, it is easy for us to miss things that are going on from one campus to the next. So please know that I take great pride in visiting the campuses and centers and really in connecting with you in your workspace. So I look forward to doing more of that this school year. So if I show up at your office or at your desk, don't be surprised. I'm not on a fish hunt. I'm just coming to visit, just to pay a very friendly visit. I want you all to know that your feedback and your comments to me are always welcome, and they're always appreciated. Last week, I had the pleasure of having lunch and fellowship with a few of the Classified Staff Members Association. 14 of us met downtown at the Town Point Club, and we discussed ways that we wanted to continue to move the college forward. I wanted to hear from them. They wanted to share with me. So we wanted to just have a nice lunch, a nice fellowship, and great conversation. And actually, that's what we did. But I will tell you also that this group of Classified Staff Association members gave me a wealth of excellent thoughts and suggestions about TCC that I plan to take and discuss with Cabinet over the course of the next several weeks. One thing that we talked about in particular was how to engage more classified staff participation college-wide. So I do want to encourage you to get involved. Your voice, classified staff, your voice is important. We recognize that without you, there is not a lot we can do as leaders of the institution. So we need your support. All of you are welcome. New employees, as well as those who have been here at the college for many years. And to the Classified Staff Association, I want you to know that you absolutely have my support. And also, just kind of changing gears a little bit, to Chris and to Naima, Melanie, Mary Beth, the entire marketing team, I do want to thank you so much for pushing out the commercials across Hampton Roads. Who's heard one of our commercials? They're great. Thank you all so much, Chris, for what you're doing. I know everybody has done some traveling. Who's seen the signs at the airport, the Norfolk Airport? They're great, great. Thank you so much for that. I'll tell you, when I came to Norfolk 3 years ago now, almost 3 years ago, a couple people said to me, we see every institution up at the Norfolk Airport, but TCC, you know. So Chris and his team made that happen for us. Just beautiful signage. I've been in and out of the airport quite a bit lately, and it's just a joy. I'm just like passing by, taking selfies of myself there by the poster. So thank you so much for that. The community feedback is excellent. And so again, throughout this year, we look forward to increasing our visibility. Not only me personally going out, but also our college-wide visibility through more print and more TV and social media. So just look for that, and please engage all of you so that we can tell the TCC story. And finally, I want to thank all of you for leaning in and accepting the changes that have occurred in our organizational structure during the past couple of years. We've made some changes, and we recognize that. Of course, we had to make some changes because of COVID, changes in our operation. And we also responded, many of you may or may not know, to some mandates that have come down from the Virginia Community College system. And additionally, as we all know, as president, I implemented some structural changes with the hope to facilitate our operation. But I want all of you to know that there is never any intention to disrupt or displace anyone. My only motivation is to create a more efficient and enjoyable work environment. Here at TCC, I firmly advocate that we are a family. And although we have 4 campuses and we have several centers, we have one common purpose, and that purpose is to support each other as we advance this institution together. So I do look forward to spending the rest of the day with you, although Dr. Woodhouse said that everybody had fun when the president left the meeting last week. So I'm going to stay around this morning. So thank you all for giving me this time. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for the great work that you're doing on behalf of our students and communities. And I wish each of you a successful school year every day. Thank you all so very much.
Thank you, Dr. Constant, for those wonderful remarks. Let's give Dr. Constant another hand. All righty, let me just also say, I think we all agree, boring is not an adjective that we would ever associate with our president. Brave, bold, but never boring. So let us understand that I don't think that we'd ever consider you boring, Dr. Constant. We appreciate your leadership. You have led us through, many of us in this room have been in education for many, many years. And I think we'd agree in our professional lifetimes, we've never seen anything like this. And so we certainly appreciate your fearless and your fierce leadership, because you did come to us. We were fortunate and blessed to have you come to us at a time when, you know, many folks would not be able to navigate these waters. So we certainly appreciate you, Dr. Constant. Next, we have our wonderful VPs. You've heard Dr. Constant talk about her phenomenal cabinet. So I'd like to have VP Kurt Asen join me up here. Now, you all may not know, but this is, I think you're the most brilliant mathematical mind in terms of data. I'm just setting it up, you know, because, yeah, you are. So VP Asen, thank you so much for your leadership. And I will say on behalf of faculty, we do appreciate the reports. We appreciate you keeping us abreast. We appreciate the way that you present the reports in a way that we can understand them. So thank you so much. Let's welcome VP Asen, after which we'll have a 15-minute break.
I am not the mathematician by any stretch of the imagination. The person that's a statistician is my trusted director of institutional research, Anthony Massera, and his staff, Cecily and Jessica. I barely made it through my differential equations course when I was an undergraduate. So a little discombobulated because just before I came up here, Dr. Woodhouse said to me, "Are you even listening to me?" And I said, "Is that any way to start a conversation with me?" But seriously, not, what she was telling me was, hey, you got to get Dr. Bovee to submit a prospectus on a new certificate program immediately. It's in our culinary arts program. It's a bread baking program. And I was like, well, why haven't we heard about this yet? And she said, well, it's a very small program. Not everybody can get into it. So we only tell people about it on a need to know basis. Okay, enough of that. Dr. Woodhouse told me not to make any more jokes about her, so I had to throw something in. So we can get going with where we are with enrollment. We just finished the summer session, and I'm not gonna hold back. You know I don't do that. We were down 6% in FTE, which again, we measure FTE because that's the basis of our general funding plus an indication of our tuition revenue. A little bit less in student headcount. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in the context of the VCCS and over the last couple of years with COVID, but suffice it to say, even though we were up 10% last year in FTE enrollment, we did finish this summer down 6%. But I want to mention a couple of things. So, oh, I have a clicker. Thank you. As Dr. Constant mentioned, there are some positive underlying indicators with the enrollment. We've been seeing this now we saw it in the spring, we saw it in the summer, to some degree last fall. But we naturally lose students. There's always attrition every semester. Students graduate, they leave. Students transfer early to a university. We actually help them do that. It's part of our mission. And some unfortunately drop out, disappear. But you always have to bring in new students to replace them. And if you're not bringing in enough students to replace them, not only are you losing students and your enrollment's dropping. You cannot retain your way out of this cycle. Retention is very important. You have to maintain your retention and try to increase it, but you've got to replace those new students. And it takes time to build that base back up. So what we saw in the spring, what we saw in the summer, and looking forward, you'll see that we were up 15% in first time in college for the summer. We normally, summer's not a big first time in college term, but we've introduced some different things. Dr. Woodhouse will talk about them. And we find that actually the persistence of the students in this particular program right now are persisting in fall at a really good rate. We also saw our career technical programs up 2.5% for the summer. College transfer is down significantly. And remember that because I'm going to talk about that on the next slide. One of the other indicators that we saw, and the reason FTE is down at a higher rate than student headcount, is students are taking fewer credits on average. This has been going on at TCC for 10 years now, and it's not just us, it's nationwide. I just read a report last week about how universities are concerned because they've hit a critical mass across country where students are only taking on average 22 credits for fall and spring. And although students, a lot of them take more than 4 years, they're now at a point where the majority of students are going to take more than 4 years to graduate. They're just not carrying enough credits. In the VCCS, we have been seeing this for a while. That average credits per student has been dropping, and that hurts our FTE enrollment, disproportionate to the student headcount change. So what's this story about career and technical education? If we go back the past year, last summer, fall, and spring, each term and semester, we saw a nice increase in career and technical program students over the semester term the year before. This is not unique to us, although I think we executed a little bit better than many of our VCCS partners with career and technical. But this is going on quite a bit across the nation. Students are migrating towards those programs that prepare them for direct placement into the workforce. Contrast that to what's happened with college transfer programs. Again, it's not unique to us. Interim Chancellor Sharon Morrissey recently put out statements about this across the VCCS. We see this across the country as well at community colleges. Students are sliding away from college transfer programs and migrating career and technical. Problem is our college transfer programs in totality are larger than career and technical programs, so the offset is generally an overall decline in enrollment. So this summer, although we were down 6% in FTE, when we compare to the rest of the VCCS, we're not at the very bottom, which we have seen before and haven't been there in a couple of years now, and I don't want to go back there, but you'll still see there's a sea of red. The largest colleges in the system, Northern Virginia, Virginia Peninsula right across the river here, Reynolds in Richmond, Bright Point, which is just south of Reynolds in the Richmond, Petersburg area, all were down as well. So in head count, we see the same thing. We're in the same place. Eastern Shore added 1 student this summer, which boosted them by a ½ percentage point. I can tell you that 1 student's not going to save the system. So Eastern Shore is so tiny that 1 student makes a big difference. So you'll see again, Northern down significantly in there. Northern, where they go, the system goes overall. So I know our system office administration is keeping a close eye on Northern. If, however, we compare over a 2-year period, we were all hit. All the schools were hit hard by COVID. So how have we recovered from that? So if we look at it over a 2-year period, we actually are still positive and at the top of the VCCS and FTE. And you see some huge declines over 2 years. Look at Northern, down 27% in 2 years with summer. They had the same problem with spring as well and last fall. In head count, overall we're down. Interestingly, in summer, fall, and spring last year, if we measure head count by just in the semester, we were up. But when you measure it unduplicated across the whole academic year, we were slightly down. That was an indication that our actual retention from fall to spring improved. So you only count that student once. So instead of onesies. So we improved that fall to spring retention, and then overall it was down a little bit. But each semester it was up. Just one of those weird little anomalies there. So how are we doing for fall? This is as of yesterday. We're down in FTE. This is regular students. We take dual enrollment out at this time of the year because of the timing differences of getting the high school students in there. And you never get a good match between us or even any of the other VCCS colleges. So currently down 3.9% in FTE and 5.2% in head count. This is a little different than what we've seen in the past, being down more in head count than FTE percentage-wise. And the reason is students are carrying more credits. This is a turnaround, and I am hoping that this holds because we're just slipping down to that critical point where students just can't get through programs in a timely manner. So that's really nice. First time in college students, already as of yesterday, 1,917 enrolled. That will continue to climb mid-2000s by the end of the semester. But we're on track to do much better than we did last fall. That is a good sign as we attempt to replace those students that leave. Along with this, we're also seeing an increase in applications from students, in particular new students, students that have never attended a college or university before. The applications are up slightly, or actually quite a bit, 38%. And on top of that, the yield rate of then getting those applicants to enroll is up a little bit. And that's why you're seeing such an increase in the FTE, first time in college students. Very good sign. Executing very well. My colleagues doing a good job. Academics and faculty and deans, the course programming mix, and Dr. Campbell and Student Affairs, you and your staff getting those students in. VP Bryant, that marketing effort, getting the word out. It's a team effort, as Dr. Constant mentioned. So with that, with enrollment, I need to turn I don't have much time. I have to turn to accreditation. Our national accreditation is so important to this college. And I want to give a shout out to Kim Bovey, who leads us at district in this effort. And we also have specialized accreditation, and I shout out to Terry Corrigan, who helps our specialized programs with their specialized accreditation. With our national accreditation, we were last reaffirmed in 2017. That's a huge multi-year event. Our fifth-year report, though, is due in just a few days. And we are working very hard on that. It has a lot of components. It's not as big as the 10-year, but as you can see, it covers a lot of areas of this college. I suspect every single one of you falls into that list of things somewhere, that we have to demonstrate that we meet the principles of accreditation for the Southern Association of Colleges and Commission on Colleges. And it is quite involved. You can't just say, yeah, we do that. You have to show evidence that you have been doing it, not what you're going to do, but that you have been executing this. And it's quite an involved task. We've also been working quite a bit with academics on expanding our off-campus instructional sites. SAC-COC changed the rules on this a couple of years ago, and it's much more stringent now on what we have to do. And so recently, we've submitted 15 letters of notification. This is for any off-site location where you can get 15 or 25 to 49% of a program at that location. So a number of these are high schools, but not all of them. 2 full prospectuses have been submitted and approved.
Okay, everybody, let's get started. It's so fun to see everyone interacting, giving each other hugs, happy to see each other. If everybody could take their seats. All right. So right now you're going to hear about all the great things that are related to academic affairs. But before we get started, I have a joke now. So I should get your attention with my joke. They don't know what I might say. Because my Portsmouth family knows I may come out my mouth and say anything. Is that not correct? All right. But I told them I'm gonna be good, and I ain't gonna do it the Portsmouth way, which I've been known to do because we won college now. However, my colleague Steve Litherland said, "Boss, you okay? You the brunt of jokes." Let me tell you something, Steve Litherland. I'm a confident, strong woman. There ain't much that nobody can say that can tear me down. So let that be known to all of y'all. Y'all can come with your little jokes, Y'all don't get the full context of stories, okay? But in all seriousness, we are a collaborative leadership team in cabinet. We do have a lot of fun. We do have a lot of jokes, okay? And yes, I did not tell the president she was born. That's a little ad-libbing in there, okay? But if you all were at the meeting, okay? Uh-oh, here come another one. Here come another one. What? I didn't tell him you were born. I see, y'all missed the part where she said, I didn't go to her where she said it. It's funny. You know, she said, blame it on them. That's funny. Blame it on them. It's a joke. Good job. This cabinet, we have a lot of fun. So what y'all missed was Chris Bryant jump up on the stage. And as he goes to his, I'm gonna ask the cabinet to please join me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hit it! All right, in all seriousness, I can't emphasize enough the fun that we do have. But on top of all of the fun that we do have, we are trying to do and get the work done here at Tidewater Community College. So before I get started with my presentation, I really do want to take a moment to recognize the TCC faculty. If you could please stand, all faculty members. Please stand. I want you to remain standing. So, as your Vice President, I really want to salute you for the great work that you have had to do over the last 2 years. You have had to pivot, you have had to change, you have had to learn new things abruptly, but more importantly, you keep those students here. You're working with those students, you're being the mentors, you're being the counselors, you're doing everything to keep those bodies here. You're pivoting through COVID, you are doing what we need you to do. And I know a lot of times we don't get to do it publicly, but I want to thank you for what you do to support me, what you do to support the students, and what you do to support Tidewater Community College. I salute you, Dr. So, Dr. Campbell, got me on time, right? All right, because I know I'll get to going over. So I got to make up some time now, everybody. So I want to introduce some new people to academic affairs. First, we have a new dean, Carolyn Phillips. If you could please stand, the interim dean for arts and humanities. Welcome, Carolyn. We have Dr. Jabari Hartman, who we stole from Paul B. Camp, our new nurse. You heard Dr. Constant talk about our grants office and the great work that's being done under the leadership of Dr. Jennifer Snyder. I do want to introduce Josh Van Bibber. If you could please stand, Josh. You're welcome, Josh. From Community College. We have Rebecca Green, who has been with TCC, and she was most recently at Eastern Shore Community College. She's our new director of Gen Ed Assessment. If you could, she's in the back there. We welcome you, Becky. Also have 2 new people working on our Connected TCC Bridge program, Khadijah Brown and Jabari Cohen. If you could please stand if you're here. And we have Alice, who is the program assistant, who's working on a grant, TTIP, with computer science. If you could please stand, Alice, if you're here. So, let's talk about some of the work and some of the things that are going on. And what you're going to hear as you listen to all of our comments, it is really about collaboration. Academics, we build the programs, we schedule the classes. Thank God for student services. They get those butts in the seats. We need Chris Bryant's area to market and to make sure that you all know what's going on. But don't forget the money from VP Hartman. The money makes it all go around. So it is a collaborative, it is a very much a team effort. So successfully, what we have done, we have a new LEAP program. You've heard about that. Learn, explore, accelerate, and persevere to TCC. These are high school students who are bridging into TCC and working collaboratively with student services. Dr. Misty Line, we're enrolling over 300 students in that LEAP program. And this becomes our first time in college cohort. It's a wonderful program, and we're thankful for the success. They get their tuition paid, they get textbooks, they get computers. So you all know students who are graduating from high school next year, get them in LEAP. Tell them about it, make sure they know about it in this, if they're graduating from the high schools in this region. We sent a comprehensive faculty team who participated in AAC&U this summer. I want members of this team to please stand. Dr. Harris, I know is not here, but Dr. Jessica Lyman, Dr. Andrea Palasamo, Dr. Deb Dart, and Renee Hossein Ali. You all can please stand. You all spent time this summer participating in this, and I know the work continues with this initiative, but I'm very thankful for your support and thank you for participating. Thank you very, very much. We also successfully launched the Community Engagement Awards. Many of you all have had the opportunity to participate in our awards ceremony here, and we're really excited. We have over 150 students that we recognize for their academic accomplishments, 4.0, 3.0, and their community engagement and involvement. And that activity took place here. You can only expect that to grow, and that is led by Dr. Kelly Sorey. We also have a new advisory committee for transfer programs. You typically hear about advisory committees for CTE, for transfer and having those programs, but with the new Transfer Virginia initiative, we saw it important to begin a new transfer initiative where we're really working with our four-year institutions, listening to very clearly what they want us to institute and implementing this. And so we have a really active, robust transfer advisory committee. We also signed some new agreements with Norfolk State University and George Mason University, some nice reverse transfer agreements, which are also very helpful. We started a new apprenticeship program. We have a lot of apprenticeship programs. When we can do a new one, we're very positive about that. And this is with Smithfield Foods. They were at another community college, weren't happy, called us up. We gladly made it happen. And that is Dean David Ecker and Dean Benno Rubin, who really worked to make this happen. We also, under the leadership of Dr. Jennifer Ferguson, launched our EMT program at the Chesapeake Career and Technical Center. And this is for dual enrollment. And we're really excited about this. We have been trying to bring a little bit of health professions to the Chesapeake campus. And it's been somewhat of a slow process, but Jennifer Ferguson, wherever you are, you came in there, you made it happen, and now we have that EMT program. So yes, that is a nice little pause, but we've been trying to do that for years. I want to say that 95% of our graduates go to work. These are just some of the areas: health professions, funeral service, automotive, trucking. Our students get jobs. How many of you all have gone and you have had a X-ray, okay? And how many of you all know, when you ask them, where did you go to school? What do they say? Let me hear you say TCC. That's our health profession program. That's all of our programs here. Welding, everywhere. They're getting jobs, they're going to work. And that's something that we should be proud of and that we should recognize, because there's not anywhere that you can't go where you don't recognize that TCC has a pulse on students going to work. And that's on the credit side as well as the workforce side. We are putting people in jobs, we're graduating them, and we're giving them jobs. Transfer Virginia process, our faculty, our deans have been fully engaged, and we are really working to actively reflect those new policies and practices. This year, our dual enrollment under Kelly Sorey and Terry Sweebo. Terry, I know you're here. Please stand. Where are you, Terry? That's right, and the manager. Dual enrollment is working. They're driving it every day. We are increasing every year over in headcount. We are doing a great job working with those schools, building those partnerships. That's very important. And I just want to acknowledge you with your leadership and Dr. Kelly Sorey. You're doing a phenomenal job. And I thank you so much for that. Distance learning, you know, we don't know what to do without John Murray around here. And I think if you all know John, I think everybody will agree. We just don't know what to do. John and his team Matt Blanchard and everyone, they make sure you're trained. They make sure that my faculty know how to do these Canvas courses and to do the Zoom and to deliver the stellar instruction that you need to do. And he does a lot of exceptional training throughout the year to make sure that happens. You'll see the number. And also, I want to recognize my library staff. I'm not sure if they're set up, but they were set up yesterday for our faculty development days and the dynamic work that they're doing. You know, I tell Steve Ruffin all the time, they're kind of that unsung, quiet little place over there, but they're still seeing students. Students are going in there all day long. They're seeing them all online. They're helping them, making sure that they get their papers done, they get their research done. They are there. And I want you all to remember the great work that takes place in the libraries on all of our campuses and the number of students that they continue to serve. So thank you, Steve. I want to just highlight some initiatives very quickly. You all heard Dr. Constant mention our Center for Teaching Excellence. Dr. Jennifer Snyder, she's like what do I always say? Energizer bunny. She just like has energy for days. And the great work that she does, you know, she established an advisory council. They've had a lot of meetings and they really have set up what our Center for Teaching Excellence is going to be. You all will remember years ago, we had a Center for Teaching Excellence, and unfortunately, we had budget cuts. And you will remember that had to be wiped out. But under Dr. Constant and under her leadership and her vision, she said we need it back. And I'm very thankful that we were able to make that happen. And so we do have this happening again. We have our Batten Fellows who were recognized earlier, but we're doing some really great work. This is a slide that just shows you all of the people that are meeting constantly to really talk about what the Center for Teaching Excellence needs to look like and what this outfit will be. And we're really excited to launch and announce those Batten Studios. We talked about the fellows, Dr. Gillian and Dr. Porter. And now we have our Batten studios, freedom to explore, to express, to innovate, and to collaborate. That's their tagline, okay? We want you to come in there, we want you to be zen. We want you to work together. We want you to sit around and collaborate at the tables, but really it's a space designed for faculty. It's a space designed for faculty. Dr. Snyder and the Batten Fellows have worked very, very hard this summer to get those up and open. And so I hope that all of you all will join and visit them. This is the location. This tells you where they are on each campus. And we're very excited about reopening those. So please faculty, go and join them. And you have coffee in there. There's a bread, there's coffee. There's lots of stuff for you to do in there. Grants and sponsored programs. So I think it's important to note that the Grants and Sponsored Programs Office is really, really busy right now. And I think that they would all agree. There are a lot of weekends, there are a lot of late nights, but there's a lot of work taking place. On top of managing $10 million in grants right now, because I think that's what we have a total of 22 grants that we are managing. We also, since February, have submitted for 11 grants, of which right now we know we have been awarded 6 of those grants. And that is to that grants office, that is Jennifer Snyder, that is Dimitri Gassner, and that is Josh. And I also want to recognize Monica McFerrin and Tom Gary, if you are here, because you joined us, and Dr. Kim Bovee, who worked with us on some grants to make sure that we submit. So this is a team effort. It is a very collaborative effort. But when I tell you we are working hard on that grants office, they are rolling. And I'm very proud of the work that they are doing. Virtual Virginia, a new initiative. We read an article in the paper and we thought, wow, what can we do to collaborate with Virtual Virginia? Virtual Virginia really came to prominence with COVID. So this is where high school students do all of their coursework online. And what we decided to do, working with them, is to partner and offer dual enrollment to Virtual Virginia. They have a large number of students. I'm talking tens of thousands of students who participate in Virtual Virginia who are not captured in the high schools. These are students who are public school students, but are doing their coursework all online through Virtual Virginia. So what we are going to be doing is offering dual enrollment to them. Where there is a will, there is a way. And so we are doing dual enrollment. We're offering the Uniform Graduate Certificate. We are offering the Passport Program. And let me tell you right now, we have over 125 students that are enrolled in Virtual Virginia and taking advantage of the dual enrollment courses this year. So we're really excited. You'll see the dual enrollment, Dr. Kelly Story, Mr. Terry Sweebo, and of course, none of this happens without the campus managers, Holly Destelli, Joyce Flowers, and Vicki Whitney. Thank you for all of your hard work. One of the things that we do, I've been told to speed it up. One of the things that we do that we are really working to do is to improve our partnership with our workforce. And so you heard Dr. Constance talk about the new expansion of the Skilled Trades Academy. Well, we're going to be in there and we're going to be offering a new electrical program in that space. And we hope to launch that in fall of 23. And this begins that collaboration because we have students that want certain certifications, certain fast certifications. And we need to make sure that we are partnering both ways to go from credit to workforce and from workforce to credit. And so Dr. BP Williams and I work very hard on this partnership to make sure that we are delivering. And next year, we're going to be telling you about even more partnerships. We have a new partnership with Chesapeake Regional Medical Center. I'll be very quick. Kathy Merritt, who helped us with this, Jennifer Ferguson, really excited. They want to retain healthcare in their community. They want healthcare, and so Chesapeake Regional Medical Center started Education for Life. It's kind of free-pronged, but where we were this summer was training approximately 15 high school students, putting them through an initial SDV course. They're giving them scholarship money to continue their studies in any health professions discipline that they choose, and they will support them for 2 years to complete the degree. This is a wonderful partnership that we're very much excited about. We also started something with Southwest Community College in Ducharme. I'm not sure if you're here, but with you, you are making this happen. Southwest came to us. They needed, it's a different part of the region. They needed diagnostic medical sonography. We've been working with them to help them kick this off. We will deliver the instruction and they will do the clinicals out in Southwest Virginia. So we're very excited about this initiative. Rivers Casino. Let me say it again. Hit me. Rivers Casino. All right, so I'm hearing lots of things, and BP Howard, I was supposed to tell you something yesterday about the driving in, but I'll come back to that. This is coming. And if you all were reading the news last night, you will see that they announced the beautiful restaurants that are going to be in this magnificent hotel. Our culinary program is going to be partnering. We're going to be working to make sure that we're getting students jobs working in many of these wonderful restaurants. You're going to see internships, but more importantly, I think the number is 1,300 jobs that are coming to the region and coming to the city of Portsmouth. This is magnificent, okay? And while right now I know many think you can't see the Portsmouth campus, they got great signage out there, okay? And this is going to be pretty awesome. Okay, so we're really excited about our partnership and working with Rivers Casino. Visual Arts Center, Harbor Heights, it's coming. The opening of the TCC Visual Arts and Design Center is coming. You see the programs. We're excited. A brand new, exciting, beautiful space to collaborate and to build artistic minds. This is going to be absolutely phenomenal for the Norfolk community. You all will remember many, many years ago when the Norfolk campus opened and when TCC went into Norfolk and downtown and what it did for that region. Well, this is going to make that same impact. And this is huge. And I really have to acknowledge Dr. Constance because you see, it was really her driving force that made sure that this could happen. You all know the stories behind this, but in the end, she made it happen. We have this brand new space and the Visual Arts Center will have a new opportunity to instruct our wonderful students. So we're excited about this. New positive impact. Now I will get ready to close. We just had 2 summer bridge programs where we had over 50 students engaged in Norfolk and Portsmouth. It's our Connect to TCC. Here we are with the Norfolk program, and this is us in Portsmouth. Khadijah and Jabari are doing a phenomenal job bringing students in, and these are our future TCC students. And so there's a lot going on in academic affairs, and I had to do that in record time. And I didn't even tell a lot of jokes, but I want to thank everyone in academic affairs for their support, to the faculty. We do this together, but last but not least, to my colleagues, the cabinet. We joke, we play, but we get it done. And so thank you very, very much. At this time, it's my honor to introduce Vice President Hardiman. Remember that money makes it go around, so we need that money. Vice President Hardiman.
Good morning. I don't know what the big deal about jokes is. We're working hard in finance and facilities, right, Dr. Constant? That's right. So here we go. I'm very pleased to provide you updates in the area of finance and facilities. And just as I want to update you on all of the great projects and things that are going on, I want to remind you that everyday work is going on in the area in particular of custodial services. So as we are on campus, as we continue to bring folks back on campuses, it is our goal and continues to be our goal to make sure that we are maintaining in the cleanest, healthiest way possible. And just in some of those pictures, I'm just showing you some of the tools of the trade that they use. On the three right pictures there are UV lights, which are often used in hospitals to maintain the areas. And then on the left-hand side, you can see one of our fabulous custodians actually using an electromagnetic sprayer to clean and sanitize our facilities. So I continue to be an advocate for and continue to ask you to know that we are doing our best, that we're maintaining the campuses. And if you see a custodian, please just say thank you. I updated you all last year on the American with Disabilities Act, 491 items found on the Norfolk campus and on the Virginia Beach campus. And we continue to report back to the Department of Justice. What I want to let you know is that this is a multi-year project. As we continue to work through these 491 items to prepare them, to report back to the Department of Justice, we have to report back to them twice a year. And every time we do a fix, let's just say we move something to make it an appropriate height, we have to have an independent auditor come in and make sure that we did it right. So it's a lot of work involved, great work by our facility staff to make sure that we're going to be in compliance the way we need to be. You all look fabulous, by the way, sitting in your fabulous COVID-friendly furniture. So this has been a huge project, and I gotta say, a lot of credit goes to a lot of people, but especially to Lynn Hunley. You all may know Lynn Hunley. She works as hard as she can to make sure, and has taken personal responsibility for this project, and we are 90% of the way there. 90% of the way there of 12,326 rooms. I don't even have the number of classrooms, but if you've seen them come throughout the buildings, every room has a different theme and structure. And so it's a great project. We're 90% of the way there, and we are going to be done very soon with this huge, massive project. And just as a reminder, the intent of this project was to make sure that we had COVID-friendly furniture that could be wiped down 10 times a day and not be damaged or destroyed as a result. So again, you all look fabulous in your COVID-friendly furniture. I wanted to update you all on something that's not really a project of ours, but it is going to be happening pretty close to one of our campuses, so I don't want you to be surprised. On the Virginia Beach campus, right adjacent to the Virginia Beach campus. So let me kind of level set you, get my compass out. So if you're going down Princess Anne and, you know, further down this way is the beach, and you're coming from Norfolk, let's just say, on the left-hand side where you would normally turn into Community College Place, you're going to start seeing construction that's going to happen. And what's going to happen is a Panda Express is going to go in the corner, again, not affiliated with us necessarily, but the Panda Express is going to be coming right there on the corner of Community College and Princess Anne. And in addition to that, if you were to turn into Community College Place and you take a right before you get to the campus, you're going to see a hotel come up. This is going to be a by Hilton type of hotel. And then there's also a plan for possible future development of another hotel. Again, I didn't want you to be surprised. This is going to be happening. We're going to try to find ways to partner with the city on this, but this is something that's pending. I believe what's going to happen is over the holiday break, they're actually going to close down Community College Drive to start the construction on the road work there. At the Chesapeake campus in the past building just over here, there's a lot of offices that have moved out, and we've done that so that we can work on this pretty exciting project, which is to basically make a student services friendly hallway, if you will. And hallway is really an understatement of what will go on there. The intent and idea of this is that a student would be able to stand at the beginning of that hallway and look down and see all of the signage and all of the areas that they would need to go to get enrolled, have their financial aid secure, get advised, et cetera, at this college, and be prepared to start classes. So we're excited about this project. The construction completion is going to be completed in January, but of course we've got to then outfit it with the FF&E, the furniture and fixtures and so forth. So anticipated final completion date is in March. And so we're excited to see that come to fruition. Dr. Woodhouse mentioned the Harbor Heights Visual Arts Center. So I'm not going to belabor it, but just to say a great job by the marketing department on some of these wraps. If you haven't driven by there, you should. It looks really great. Great job by the faculty designing the programs that are going to go in there. And a great job by the facility staff as well to help with it, help and figure out what the design might look like. This is just some sneak peek pictures. It's really going to be exciting and beautiful and a wonderful addition to the TCC overall buildings. You should, I guess, start to see some of the beautification projects that are going on, and we'll continue to see more beautification projects going on, things like park benches and new trash cans and those kind of things. And what I want to say about that is, you know, we say, well, we're going to add more park benches. We can't just go to Home Depot and buy park benches. That's not how it works for us. We literally have to bring in a contractor to lay concrete, you know, order the benches, have them secured to the concrete, et cetera. So this, you know, when I say beautification, becomes a much bigger effort, not to mention the planning and design that goes into it to figure out what we should do, what we should replace, and where these things should go. You're going to continue to see these kind of things as we go through the years. I got a list of other projects. I'm not going to go through every single one of them for you, but I will just say, just know that there are a lot of projects going on. Carpet replacement at the ATC, at the Chesapeake Library, the Virginia Beach parking lot, a lot of HVAC systems are being replaced. Facilities is working hard, no time for jokes. Facilities is working hard to make sure that that our buildings are being maintained and that we are trying to stay on top of. It's a lot of square footage that we have, but we're trying to stay on top of this work to make sure that it gets done. This is a slide that I presented to you all last year, the capital outlay submission. And our very first priority, what I told you last year in terms of what we submitted as an institution, was the Walker building. And we did so because of the condition of the Walker building. It needs replaced. And the system office, no one is in denial that it needs replaced. It's not like we're saying it and people are arguing with us. Everyone agrees that this needs to happen. And you may have seen some work already going on with the Walker building, and that was to basically stabilize it, make sure that it is the safe as it possibly can be, but it still needs replaced. So I've made one minor change to this slide from last year, which is to scratch through what my predictions will be. Don't worry, I'm not going to play lottery because I was wrong. So based on, you know, what I had said previously was that the state had a lot of money and they were doing really well. And I thought that, you know, our project was number 4 on the list, and why wouldn't we get approved for this year? Turns out they didn't approve any projects this year with the exception of one, and that was a building that had already collapsed. So they couldn't really deny that. So we continue to advocate, Dr. Constant in particular continues to advocate for our building to make sure that we stay at the top of their minds and top of their priority list. This is going to happen for us. It's just a matter of when, not if. So we continue to, as I said, this will continue to be our top submission. The college is embarking on a space utilization study, and we're doing this college-wide, all buildings, all campuses, and we're doing this for multiple reasons. The first one is it's time to embark on our master plan, a 10-year master plan to decide how and what space needs we will have in the future. We're going to try to be Nostradamus to do some predictions, and we're doing that in conjunction with academics to see what programming and changes they might have, additions, subtractions, et cetera. But we also know that we're not using the campuses the way we used to, whether it be because of enrollment, because of more online offerings as a result of COVID, whatever the case, we know that we're not using the campuses the way we need to. And we're never going to be successful going to the state and asking for millions of dollars unless we can prove that we are using the campuses and our space the way we should, or the way to their maximum capacity. So when Chev looks at buildings, when the state looks at buildings, they say to us, when we go and ask for money, they say to us, what's the condition of your current buildings? You know, if you're trying to replace an existing building, and are you using your buildings the way you should? So we've got to prove that. We're not the only ones in this boat, but we know that we want to be on top of this and make sure that we can prove that we are using our buildings to their capacity. So more will come on this for sure. We've engaged an independent contractor to help us with this. It's a massive project, as you might imagine. And then from there, we'll roll into the 10-year master plan. All right, Dr. Woodhouse mentioned Rivers Casino. I'm just going to get specific about space. I'm not going to talk about a whole lot of other things. So you may have seen in the Portsmouth Campus Student Center, we are renting to them some temporary office space until their building is complete. And that is used primarily for their HR staff, their finance staff, et cetera, so that they have a location to work out of until the building is finally done and they can move into their own offices. So I anticipate that will be January, February, March timeframe. We are doing one-off facility rentals for job fairs. You may see that happening. And of course, that's a rental. So meaning we do bring in some income in those scenarios. And then the operations training school, or otherwise known as dealer school. So I'm sure VP Williams will talk about this some more, but we are operating the dealer school. It's in the forum of the Portsmouth campus building. And I was in there the other day, it was packed, standing room only. I mean, they're really pumping it out. The students are there. It's a good opportunity. We're going to put Dr. Williams in office right by there. It's, if they want to do something else, and we can grab them, snatch them. And so it's an exciting opportunity. Eventually, we're going to roll into slot machine repair as well as cashier training, and we'll see. And Dr. Woodhouse mentioned other opportunities, culinary and so forth. So this is some opportunities. This is how we're able to engage with them. You all may know that a new procurement system is coming. The old procurement system is named EVA. The new procurement system is named EVA. So EVA New will be coming November 1 of 22. I know they had a false start before. Many of you may know that. We'll pretend like that didn't happen, and they mean it this time. November 1 of 22. And this is the false start is giving them time to develop better training. So that's a good outcome of this. So what I will say is, do not attend the training offered by Department of Goods and Services, and do attend the training offered by VCCS Shared Services. If you are a requisitioner, there's requisition training, and if you are an approver, there is approver training. So that's coming. The Shared Services should be sending some notices out to folks about the training, which is supposed to start anytime now. Auxiliary Services has been awful busy. We have a lot on our plate and a lot of initiatives ongoing. First one has been the bookstore contract. So as well as working with procurement as well on the bookstore contract. But a college-wide committee was formed to help us do an RFP process to determine who would be our bookstore vendor. We worked in conjunction with other colleges, and ultimately we've chosen Barnes & Noble again. They offer the best deal for our students and for the college. And in addition to that, we're going to be forming a bookstore advisory committee. And that is to make sure that our relationship with Barnes & Noble, that we're holding them accountable, that we are able to, communicate with them when students aren't getting what they need, when faculty aren't getting what they need. She's not here today, but Tina Price is the new director of auxiliary services. And so she's going to be working to form that committee. If you're interested in joining that committee, please reach out to her. And as I said, we think that's going to go well. One other big change with the bookstore is that on the Norfolk campus in particular, we are moving out of the mall. We're no longer going to be in MacArthur Mall. And we are going to be in the Norfolk Student Center. So that work is due to start in October of this year. And by January, they should be fully moved into the Norfolk Student Center, similar to every other campus that we have. In addition to that, we've been negotiating with HRT. We thought it was a good opportunity. We've not been selling a lot of bus passes, but we thought it was a good opportunity to negotiate with HRT for basically a better deal. And out of that negotiation came a couple of things. We are able to drop the cost of student passes by 50% down to $25. And for staff, we've been able to drop it down to $35 per pass. That's by semester. In addition to that, came out a deal on marketing. Who's seen the new light rail? Anybody? Fabulous, right? I've almost gotten in 3 car accidents just because I'm so happy when I see it. So the marketing department, I have to say, this is probably some of their best work. They've done an excellent job. VP Chris, Bryant. VP Chris has really worked hard. His staff has worked hard on this. And as you can see, it's sort of a dual marketing. On the light blue side is marketing HRT, but talks about going to college. And then on the other side, of course, it's all TCC. So if you haven't seen them, make a drive by there. They look awesome. And we were able to get 50% off the marketing for a year. We've got a lot of initiatives going on childcare, and I did share this with you all last year. So in the area of childcare, you may know that we work with Dr. Snyder's office on the C Campus grant. And this is a grant that we've had for a few years, and every few years we have to reapply, and we did so this year. And so this is a grant that typically only provides money for scholars to support students to pay for childcare services. However, this year we were able to submit to also help fund the outfitting of the new childcare centers, which as a reminder are supposed to come in Norfolk and Portsmouth campus initially. I don't have a timeline for you on that because the director of the childcare center has just been hired. We've got the grant. Well, we hope we're going to get the grant. I feel pretty good about it. And then we have also embarked on a what's called an IFB, information for bid. It's a procurement tool that allows that new director to come in and go, I want that to outfit this childcare center, and then basically to expedite the process of getting it outfitted where it needs to be. In addition to that, we're ordering new playground equipment and obviously trying to get the childcare centers fully outfitted and built and ready for students. And then we are also working to expand our financial aid offerings so that students can use financial aid for childcare at various vendors. In terms of food services, this also falls under auxiliary services. The challenge that we've had with food service, you all may know that we lost our food service vendor. We're not the only ones. Everyone who had a food service vendor in the community college world, with exception of Northern, lost their food service vendor because we just didn't have the students on campus, right? The people on campus to support these businesses, which is what they are, businesses. So I'm really looking forward to Kurt giving me awesome data this year to show numbers of how many students we'll have on campus, how many people we'll have on campus, and those numbers that we will use that then entice, if you will, a vendor to come and provide food service for our students and staff. In the meantime, we have some interim plans. So one of our interim plans is to bring in a grab and go market. Similar to the picture on the top, or like an airport, that's one way that we're looking to expand. That's a temporary solution. It's not something we are looking at as a long-term solution. Our long-term solution is to have full service food back on campus. But we've got to show the numbers and the data. Until we get through a semester or two, I won't be able to do that. Another short-term option, or maybe long-term, we'll see how it goes. We do have a vendor who's interested in using our pizza kitchen in Virginia Beach. So we're going to continue to negotiate with that vendor and see if we can entice them to come. But you may know that Virginia Beach is the only campus that has a wood burning pizza oven. So we'll see how that goes, but we are continuing to work on that and expand that. Tina's working awful hard. I'm going to give you some updates on the budget this year. A lot of this stuff you already know, but just in terms of what I'm updating you all on, this is specific to the VCCS. This is not all TCC's money, I wish. So this year, the General Assembly approved $24.1 million for what they call affordable access. And what affordable access means is don't raise your tuition and we'll give you money. So $24.1 million to the VCCS, basically an encouragement not to raise tuition, which, as you all know, we did not do. Almost all of that money is going to go to pay for the bonuses in the first year. As you all know, we had bonuses, pay increases this year. And so that doesn't really help us with inflation. We've got to talk about that. $4.6 million was given to the VCCS to help pay for increasing in academic advising capacity, and we are getting 4 new positions, academic advisor positions, out of that. Dr. Campbell is very happy about that. $30 million to increase financial aid. I just want to say, I don't know that I've ever seen financial aid numbers this high in terms of available financial aid. That's an awesome number. It's an increase over what we already have. So we really need these students to fill out this FAFSA and get in here. $2.5 million to enhance cybersecurity to the VCCS. The system office is going to take almost all of that and do a study of all of the colleges. As you may read in the paper, some of the cyber threats and things that are going on, and we certainly don't want to be one of those victims. $8 million in 1 year for G3 innovation grants, and they have yet to tell us how we would apply for those grants, but you can bet as soon as they do, Dr. Woodhouse and VP Williams going to be all over it. 5% pay raise in 2022. You all know that. 5% pay raise in 2023. $1,000 bonus in December. And then eliminates the cost of health insurance in year 1, but of course they retain the right to possibly have a health insurance increase next year. What I want to say is AVP Lund sent out an email on June 22nd of this year to the entire college, and there are a lot of details in there, right? So the college is actually paying for prorated bonuses and pay increases for the part-time and adjunct staff to be included in this. And so that's where all the details kind of come into play. And if you're looking for more information on this, definitely refer to her email because she laid it out very clearly. New funding by the General Assembly covers this year's pay increase and bonus, but not next year's. So we'll see, they're gonna meet again. We'll see if they give us the money or possibly a tuition increase. We'll have to see. That's kind of up in the air as to how that will be, how that will play out. We are already, we continue to see the impacts of inflation. It's just happening. Our vendors are raising our costs. And this is just I think you're feeling it in your homes and we're feeling it here at the college especially. So obviously, you know, my advice, my encouragement is to increase enrollment significantly. We have to increase it so that we can meet our financial obligations. One other tool that we use, and I'm going to continue to ask you all to use, is the mission critical process. So every position that you bring forward, that gets brought forward by your cabinet members to the president's cabinet, needs to have a mission critical designation. We're not going to fill positions just because we've always had a position. It needs to have an explanation of why it's critical to the organization. And then the same thing with our purchases. When you put in orders into purchase them, we need to be able to explain how it's critical to the mission of the organization. Again, just trying to make sure that we can meet our financial obligations as we move forward. And then you heard Kurt say, and I just wanted to leave you all with this, you heard Kurt talk about 38% increase in online application or in applications. So, you know, obviously we need to convert those to enrollment, to actual students enrolling in classes. But in addition to that, we really got to make sure, particularly since the CARES money is gone, scholarships are gone from CARES money. So we've really got to convert those students into enrollment, but then also help themselves to have a way to fund those enrollments. And so I brought a video. We're not the only ones in this boat, and the video is a little dated, but I just wanted to show you, we're not the only ones in this. Whatever you can do to encourage students to fill out the FAFSA is really going to go a long way. Students are much more likely to stay in class if they have a way to pay for it. So.
Hi everybody, welcome to the easiest game show in the world. We will give you free money for college. Our contestant today, Adrian Miller, will compete for thousands of dollars in college grants and loans if she can answer these questions.
Compete for thousands of dollars in college grants and
Hold on,
loans.
these
If you can answer these
are
questions.
incredibly easy.
FAFSA.gov. Hold on, these questions are incredibly easy. First question, what is your name?
Not a trick question. We just need your name, Adrian.
I'm sorry, this.
Not a trick question. We just need your name, Adrian.
Not in 30 minutes.
Sorry, this just seems like a lot of
You
work.
could get a lot
You're
of
gonna be done in
money
30
for
minutes.
college.
I'd like to use a lifeline.
A lot of money for college.
I'd like to use a lifeline.
Yeah, I mean, a parent, a smarter friend, literally.
Michelle.
Yeah, a parent, a smarter friend, literally.
Michelle.
Hello.
Hi, Mrs. Obama. What's my name? Hi, Mrs. Obama.
Adrian.
What's my name?
So, your name is Adrian.
Thanks.
So, your name is Adrian. Just a few months ago. Oh, gotta change my address. Just a few months ago. Change my address. Adrian.
That's correct. You're already on your way to winning a ton of free money for
That's
college.
correct. You're already on your way to winning a ton of free money for college.
You don't get it. You're already winning.
I'm gonna win,
All you have to do
so
is
I'm
answer some of
just-
these questions. We're
You
even.
don't get it. You're already winning. All you have to do is answer some of these questions. We're even going to answer some of them.
People left over
for you.
$2
No,
billion
thanks.
on the table. All they have to do.
People left over $2 billion on the table, and all they have to do is answer these simple questions.
It literally couldn't be less confusing.
Adrian, it literally couldn't be less
On the
confusing.
easiest game show in the world.
Once again, we have no winner on the easiest game show in the world. If you would like free money for college, just go to FAFSA.gov.
They're really
See if you can answer our
easy.
questions. You probably can. They're really.
What was that
Hi,
website?
everybody.
I can't hear you. If you will, do what you can to be someone's lifeline. Help these students to get a FAFSA because they need the money and we need the students. Thank you so much.
All right, good morning. I'm Beth Lundy. I'm the Associate Vice President for Human Resources, and that was great. We work hard at TCC, but it looks like we play hard too. So thanks to everybody for sending in those pictures and sharing them with the college community. So you've heard a lot about the administrator's work session already this morning. And what you didn't hear so far was that I had to follow Chris Bryant, and that was a very difficult assignment. So Michelle did me a solid today and moved me up on the agenda. So thanks, Michelle, for that favor. A lot of the things that I talk about from a human resource perspective can be a little dry, a little boring. They are things that you need to know, but they can be very dry. The juicy, exciting parts of HR, I can't tell you because of confidentiality. So with that, I'm going to jump right in because I do have quite a few updates for you. We've been very busy in HR. And the first thing that I want to share are just a few staffing updates. Shane Kiernan and Christy Solomon both departed HR in July, and that leaves vacancies in our department in the functions of employee recruitment and employee benefits. So I wanted to share with you who our primary points of contact are now in those areas, so you know who to contact when you're contacting our office. So for employee recruitment, Jill Adams is the contact for full-time positions, and Liz White is the contact for part-time positions, so adjunct and wage employees. And the primary point of contact for employee benefits is Gloria Redden. We do have approval to fill our 2 vacancies, and we're going to do so very quickly now that we have teaching faculty in place to start off the semester. We can now shift our focus. We'll get some help in HR so that we can better help and support you all. Okay, so the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention updated their COVID-19 guidelines last week on August 11th. And we have been following CDC guidelines throughout the pandemic. Employees are required to stay home when they test positive for COVID or have symptoms, and should stay home at least 5 days from the date of that positive test or from when symptoms began. Employees who have been exposed to COVID do not need to stay home, but should watch for symptoms and test, and that's part of that guidance that changed. Public health emergency leave ended. It expired at the end of May, so that is no longer available for use. Employees may use sick leave for their own illness or when getting vaccinated or boosted. For absences due to a family member's illness, employees may use sick family for those that are in the traditional sick leave plan, or they can use family personal for those that are in the Virginia Sickness and Disability Program. Employees can also use annual leave or take leave without pay. We are still asking that employees report positive COVID cases through the reporting form on the college website. We do still post all the positive cases on the college dashboard. So it's all posted in there, and this is the information that is posted. The VCCS has added a new policy to the policy manual. It's fitness for duty, and basically what that policy says is that employees are expected to report to work in the appropriate mental and physical condition to perform the duties of their job in a safe and satisfactory manner throughout the workday. HR staff, President's Cabinet, and managers and supervisors have completed training related to the new policy to understand its applications and procedures. And the VCCS updated the faculty leave policy as it pertains to annual leave for presidents, administrative and professional faculty hired after January 1, 2007. They now have the opportunity to request an exception to carry over excess annual leave in January of each year. Previously, the policy did not allow carryover for this group of employees. The excess leave must be used by July 9th. And this adjustment to this policy creates an equity in bringing it in alignment with classified employees, as well as those faculty that were hired prior to January 1, 2007. All right, this is what you've all been waiting to hear, I think, an update regarding the compensation study. College is beginning a compensation study. We are doing this to ensure that we're paying employees fairly and equitably, and to ensure that we don't have any disparities with our salaries based on protected categories such as gender, race, and age. It's part of our DEI and affirmative action program objectives, and it's also going to provide us with very valuable data going forward for making compensation decisions. So in March, we began work to find a consultant, and in July, we considered the proposals and chose one. On Monday, I received full approval on the purchase requisition, and we have our first meeting with the consultant scheduled for next week. The timing on this has really worked out because we're able to use the data from the 5% salary increase we just received. That'll be helpful and beneficial. The timing on this is good because this information will be part of the analysis that our consultant will do. So we want a consultant to do this work because then we have a neutral, independent third party to provide the analysis. The consultant we have chosen specializes in conducting studies within higher education and has recently completed work for our sister community colleges, Bright Point and Germanna. The same consultant is also currently working with the VCCS to conduct an analysis of the VCCS salary scales. And that applies to faculty positions, the VCCS 18, as some of you may be familiar with. And they're looking at that to ensure that the salary structures are competitive. So this consultant is already familiar with our system, with the jobs and the types of jobs that we have in the community colleges. The study has two components. The first is a pay equity analysis that involves a series of statistical tests to determine if there are pay differences between gender and protected groups that are statistically significant, using professionally accepted methods recognized by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. The second component is a market analysis to see how our wages, pay ranges, and pay practices compare to the external market. It will identify positions that are most in need of potential market adjustment. We don't have a timeline for completion yet. This is a significant project, and it's going to take time, and our focus is on getting this done right, not rushing through this process. That'll produce a better overall study result. So when we think about this project, we're not looking at it in terms of weeks to completion, but more in terms of months to completion. For example, yesterday on the CHRO call, we were talking about the VCCS salary scale portion, and they're not looking to have that complete. They've already begun that work, and they're not looking to have that completed until closer to the end of the semester. So November, December kind of timeframe. So this is going to take a little while, and I want to ensure that you all understand this is not something we're going to rush through. And there'll be a lot of back and forth between HR and the consultant gathering data and providing that information. All right, so now it's quiz time. Everybody paying attention? Everybody awake? All right, this is the pop quiz. True or false? As a result of TCC's compensation study, all employees will receive a pay raise. Shout it out. False. False. The answer is false. Not all employees will need an adjustment to their salaries. That means that in some cases, employees' salaries may be fair and equitable. They're in line with the market. There's no need for adjustment. But we also have budget and enrollment considerations. And we have to think about the results of the study and the impact that will have. So there will be ongoing discussion about that. Our immediate focus from the results will be to address any pay equity disparities, if they exist. We'll use the results to make data-informed decisions going forward that support our recruitment and retention efforts. We do have some positions that we've had difficulty filling. There are some teaching disciplines that are hard to fill. We have some trades positions, like hiring a college electrician is really, really difficult. IT positions, just to name a few. The study will give us more insight and help President's Cabinet formulate a plan. Okay, next topic, Cardinal Human Capital Management. That project is a multi-year partnership between state agencies to connect the Commonwealth of Virginia with a modern system for human resource, health benefit, time and attendance, and payroll administration. Cardinal will replace statewide systems and consolidate everything into one system. It's being deployed in 3 phases, and VCCS is in the 3rd phase, and our go-live date is October 3rd. That's quickly approaching. Heather's staff in finance and my staff in HR, we've been collaborating and working very closely together on this project. Our goal is to ensure that everybody gets a paycheck and our employees are paid accurately and on time. So we're working very diligently on that. We're meeting weekly from now until the go live, and I'm sure after go live to ensure that things are processing as they should. Cardinal will look very familiar to us. It's a PeopleSoft product like our VCCS HCM. The update VCCS made to HCM in May was to ready us for the conversion to Cardinal. The VCCS HCM will interface personal data, job data, and position data to Cardinal. We don't currently store employee benefits information in the VCCS HCM, so that information will not interface. We'll be inputting that information directly into Cardinal. Employees and supervisors will continue to enter and approve time and absence requests in the VCCS HCM. That will not be done directly in Cardinal. But employees will have access to employee self-service in Cardinal. Cardinal is going to replace Payline. So you won't be viewing your paycheck stubs or your W-2s. You won't be viewing that information in Payline. after the conversion, you'll be viewing that in Cardinal. And so you'll have access through employee self-service to view that information there. It's also going to replace Employee Direct. Employees can view their benefits enrollment information directly in Cardinal. There are some training videos for employee self-service features for Cardinal that are currently available on the Cardinal Project website. As we get closer to go live, we'll communicate more details. Okay, effective July 1st, optional group life insurance options increased from 4 times to 8 times annual salary. There will be a special enrollment period for the optional group life insurance program from October 1 to November 30th. This is important to note because during that special enrollment period, there won't be evidence of insurability in some cases. And so for those employees who have difficulty getting life insurance coverage or increasing life insurance amounts, be paying attention during the special enrollment period. It also will give employees who don't currently participate an opportunity to enroll without proof of good health. It'll give those who are currently participating the opportunity to increase existing coverage by 1 level, 2 times to 3 times, 3 times to 4 times, without answering health questions. The additional coverage options are available at any time, subject to evidence of insurability. So when you have to answer health questions. So if you miss that special enrollment, you could still enroll at any time. But the requirement of waiving evidence of insurability is only during the special enrollment period. So be paying attention. Securian and VRS are going to send emails and direct mail to members in September to notify and remind of the special enrollment period. There'll be no paper enrollment forms for this. It will all be done through My VRS. All right, and finally, in July, DCCS had the various vendors of our employee assistance program make a presentation to the college chief human resource officers to review their EAP offerings. EA benefits are tied to a full-time employee's health insurance enrollment, and they provide short-term, solution-focused counseling for members on a variety of topics, such as emotional well-being, legal, financial, those types of things. We've heard that there have been a few complaints regarding the EAP that's been made throughout the VCCS, throughout the system. The EAP providers ask that employees with complaints contact their EAP again to make them aware of the issue of complaint and to allow the EAP to provide additional assistance and options. Employees can also contact us in HR, either Gloria Redden or myself. We'll be happy to try to help employees navigate. But I do understand the sensitivity around an EAP, and I understand that there may be some hesitation to contact your local HR. So employees can also contact the employee ombudsman at the Department of Human Resource Management for the health benefits program. And I will provide some information regarding the EAP, contact information, and all of that in an upcoming college communication. So with that was a lot. I do still see eye contact. I think everyone's still awake. And this time, Chris Bryant, our VP for Institutional Advancement, is going to follow me. So Chris Bryant, come on down.
Good morning, how is everybody? Right? I'm going to stretch out over here for a second before I run and jump up on stage. Quite a build-up we've had so far. Don't get your cameras out, it's not going to happen, right? It's quite a build-up that we've had this morning already. I just want you to know that I am incredibly proud to be with you here at Tidewater Community College. A part of what I have the opportunity to do as I move into this new area is I get to talk with a lot of folks, I get to hear a lot of stories, and then I get to share what it is that we are as a family. And the one thing that I keep hearing over and over and over as I'm here is that the people who are a part of the TCC family are proud to be a part of the TCC family. I can't go to the grocery store, to the beach, to music venues, to the gas station without running into 3 or 4 people who are either one of our students, one of our alum, or a family member. So it's truly a powerful place that I've only been here for 5 short months, but the legacy that you've created here, the community that you've created here, and the family that you're a part of is just such a proud place, and we are proud with a purpose. And so I know I'm speaking to the choir here when I say that what we do is for the students first and every time. And so that's exactly what I want to talk about a little bit this morning. The students are what we want to share in common. That is our purpose, our goal, our intent. I know I'm new, so allow me just a moment to tell you more about myself. I've worked for Central Virginia Community College before I came here. I want to say that at our convocations back home, we did not have crowds like this. We did not have rooms and student centers and facilities like this. We didn't have box seats like this. This is crazy talk. You wait until I send pictures back home. They're not going to believe me. One of the things that I did in my investigation, my fact finding about Tidewater Community College as I considered my family and I coming and being a part of this family is I've read and learned and talked with a lot of folks. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I read everything that TCC I think has ever put out. But what sold me, other than our students and our pride and our purpose, is that this leader, Dr. Constant, and this team and this greater family is the real deal. And I just want to say thank you for welcoming me and my family. I've had amazing coaching, and I've been given a lot of credit for things that many, many other people are doing. The marketing and communications team are doing a phenomenal job. I've seen Gigi and Melanie. I also want to say thanks to the Educational Foundation team, and I've seen Jen and Susan. Those teams are making it happen. And I'm honored to be a teammate of theirs, and I'm really, really happy that I can help our college and our family reach new heights. So I know that each of you got one of these little cards on your seat, or maybe they're on your table. What this reminds us of today is that we are proud of our collective purpose. But before that, you're proud of your purpose. I'm proud of my purpose. This calls all of us to serve something greater than ourselves. And so even though I'm a person of faith and I encourage you to always think about the things that are grander than us, this purpose really has to do with our students and our obligation to make sure we get new students, we keep the students we have, we break down barriers to their success, and then we're always living to be delivering the reputation and delivering the promise that we instill. I love this line. TCC opens plenty of doors of opportunities to help students walk through them. That's what we're here to do. We're helping students walk through those doors. And so I'll come back to this little card in just a moment, but I did want to bring to your attention that over the next 6 months or so, you're going to hear a lot in our community about this proud of my purpose. We want students to tell us why they're so proud of their purpose, why they chose TCC, why it's a good calling for them. We're going to ask each of you to be involved in that. So faculty, staff, employees. So this little card will direct you to a new landing page on our website where you can leave information about your story. You can tell us about your TCC experience. You can refer others to the TCC experience. And more than anything, you can share this on Facebook and Twitter. This is all shareable. So you're going to see a lot of connected media over the next 6 months or so about why we are so proud of what we do. And first and foremost, why we're so proud of our students. So I'm going to tell you the very quick elevator speech of the Educational Foundation and what it is that we do. First of all, our entire purpose is to support the students and to support the vision of the college. Those two things are what the Educational Foundation is created to do. And we really do that 3 different ways. Number 1 is access to college. Access for students to become enrolled through scholarships. We've been known for scholarships. You heard Dr. Constant talk about the need for scholarships and increasing our scholarships. So job number 1 for the Educational Foundation is to grow our dollars for available scholarships for our students. Number 1 that we're going to do is student accessibility. Number 2 is about student retention. You know better than I all the things that our students are faced with. They have childcare. They have car and transportation issues. They have accidents. They have rental income needs. Whatever those barriers are that keep a student from being in your classroom, that keep a student from being a good student and turning in their stuff on time and taking tests well, all of those barriers, we can help eliminate those. We're never going to bat 1,000, but we can do the very best we can to make sure that our students can eliminate those barriers. Did you know that we provide about $26,000 a year through the President's Fund for like rental assistance or housing assistance? That's a huge number. That's a number that we are proud of, and that's a number that we can increase. And so we've got a lot of work to do through the foundation to ensure that our students, they stay committed, and then we take care of those emergency needs. And then lastly, we need to make sure we grow and remain attractive through the Visual Arts Center, through the Skilled Trades Academy, through our dedication for arts and culinary. All the things that you've heard today are wonderful opportunities. We have to be able to pay for them, and we have to get our community involved to make that happen. A little bit earlier, I said that I was preaching to the choir when I talked about you needing to know more about what our students face. I can't tell you better than what you already know how our students have needs. Our students, for a large degree, don't look like or mirror students in other institutions. And so our students need a little bit more, almost like, was it Adrian in our video? Our students need a little bit more. And from time to time, it's okay. In matter of fact, it's encouraged that we as a TCC family reach out and help them. And so this is where I'm going to ask you to lean in. This is where I'm going to ask for your help, because your help is needed. So first of all, our students make us proud, and we need to be ever thinking and championing for our students to be enrolled. Our faculty and staff make us proud, and our community. Those are three constituent areas that we need to make sure our students, our faculty, our staff, our family is engaged. So here's what I'm asking you to do. There were 110 of you last year in the year 2021 as faculty, staff, and employees that gave to help student success. You are already giving of yourselves time, talent, and then this group did treasure. So what I'm asking you to do is we are going to ask you to make a commitment to the Educational Foundation if that's appropriate for you. So I'm going to plant the seed today, and I'm going to encourage you, but this is what I want you to consider. First of all, we all come from different backgrounds, and we have different needs that are appropriate for our families. Any gift that you give to the Educational Foundation is going to go toward helping students. We want to take care of students' needs, either scholarship needs or emergency funds and retention needs. If you make a gift to the college, the easiest way for any of us to do that is through payroll deduction. You're going to receive a letter in your mailbox back at your home campus tomorrow. That is a letter from me explaining a little bit more about what I talked about and encouraging you to make a gift for the Educational Foundation. When you have the opportunity to do that, you can also use this card. It's going to direct you to that new landing page. Here's the easiest way for you to be involved in making a gift. That's through payroll deduction. Now, if you're anything like me, your family has lots of obligations. There's lots of things that we take care of. So I'm asking you to make the gift that's appropriate for you. If that's $1 a paycheck, if that's $5 a paycheck, whatever that level of comfortability is for you, I just want you to consider that with your family. So sit down at the dinner table, talk with your family about making a commitment to our students through the Educational Foundation. You can also give a one-time gift by a credit card. You can bring a check by the office, whatever's easiest for you. I promise you one thing. If you call me and say, I have cookies or a check, I'm going to come run. Either time. So what I want to inspire you to do is for the 110 of you that were able to give last year because you could take that extra step, thank you. Thank you for making that commitment. I'm looking forward to being the 111. As soon as I get back, I'm going to beat you to the computer so I can get my pledge turned in. And then I just want to encourage you. Our goal is 131 donors, so it was 110 last year. I think we can actually have more like 170 or 200 donors through this. So I hope that you will join me in making a gift. The reason we chose 131 is that's the number of foundation scholarships we gave away last year to students. So our small but mighty foundation provided 131 scholarships. And you can see that our goal this year is for 47,357. Last year we had staff, faculty, employees gave 110 of you gave 36,302. That is crazy impressive. Give those folks a round of applause, please, if you would. But this is what I want to leave you with other than to say thank you. We had 1,949 scholarship applications. Wouldn't it be great if we could give over 2,000 scholarships away? We can do that in time. I promise I'm not going to go leap on a stage and tell you we're going to do that in 1 year. We're not going to do that in 1 year, but I promise you, in just a few years, we can be giving a lot more scholarship assistance to get a lot more students involved, because that's what we truly want. We want to be proud of our community, and certainly we want to be proud of our students. Everything that you do for them is a gift. It's a great investment. So be proud of TCC and be proud of our students, and I appreciate your time. At this time, it is my pleasure, it's going to rattle as I put it back in, to introduce one of my colleagues who is paramount at this school, this college, and she is the Vice President of Student Affairs, and she is Dr. Karen Campbell. I wasn't going to call you Woodhouse.
Thank you. Good morning, TCC family. It's so good to see your faces. I wasn't able to see it as I was sitting here, but you all look wonderful. I'm excited just to be able to share with you a couple of updates from Student Affairs. I will share, Dr. Woodhouse, I am more than happy to go after VP Bryant if that's the introduction that I will receive. You can put me right after him every time. So I have a couple of updates. It is a pleasure and an honor for me to be able to work alongside of a leadership team and teams in Student Affairs who are so dedicated to the students and putting students first. They are compassionate and kind. They are committed and hardworking. And I just want to be able to reintroduce some of them to you. There are some new faces on our leadership team. So first, Dr. Bowers, he is the acting dean of retention and the Portsmouth campus dean. I think all of you know that we do have 4 campus deans, but they also do have functional areas that they are responsible for in Student Affairs. We also have Dr. Chapman. He is the Dean of Student Support Services and the Norfolk Campus Dean. Dr. Kia Hardy, she is the Dean of Advising and Virginia Beach Campus Dean. And newly appointed, Dr. Hartman is the Dean of Student Life and the Chesapeake Campus Dean. So those are the 4 campus deans. We also have Dr. Misty Lyon. She's the Dean of Enrollment Management and doing a phenomenal job making sure that we have processes in place to easily enroll our students. Dr. Mr. Michael Powell, he is the Director of Public Safety, and Dr. Nicole Wilson is the College Registrar. And so I'm so pleased to be able to work with these leaders. But I would also take this opportunity to ask anyone who is in here, who is in student services, works for Student Affairs in the department division, to please stand, because I know we're limited on time. And so as I'm going through my slides, I will not be able to ask each of you to stand at that time. So anyone who's here, if you would please stand right now as I show this next slide, because everyone in here is going to they do a phenomenal work. And so as I was looking through and thinking about just some of our highlights, I wanted them to stand because you're going to see these numbers here in front of you. And I'm certainly not going to read them all to you. We all do a great work. We all collaborate. We all work hard to put our students first. But in advising, there were over 47,000. Did you hit 47,000 advising sessions in 1 year with 20,000 distinct students that the advisors saw? That is a phenomenal work. And they certainly deserve credit for working hard to make sure our students are advised. There were over 360 student life events. Over 4,000 students were served by our Student Resource and Empowerment Center.
And I'm not going over all of these, but I would certainly like to give a shout out to our outreach advisors. Those are the folks who go into the high schools and work with the recent graduates, and they saw almost 3,000 students. So they are doing a phenomenal work, and so thank you all so much. Just thank you so much for your work. And really what I'm doing right now is sharing with you their work. This is not my work, this is their work, this is what they do every day. And so I'm just so proud of them. So the Student Resource Empowerment Center, I know that, or at least believe that you all know that we have one on each campus. And so as you are working with students, if you have students who are in need of anything, please direct them to the Student Resource Empowerment Center. Those individuals under the direction of Dr. Jean Natale, she's in here, certainly answer the call. And so we have emergency funding that is still available for our students who need assistance. We have timely care. I think some of you probably attended the session with Andy Fenton, and he shared with you about timely care. So if we have students who are in need, mental health needs, we certainly have resources for them where they can access and schedule appointments to meet with licensed counselors. The community feed, we have it on the Portsmouth and the Norfolk campus, but we certainly will have mobile markets and pop-up markets on the Chesapeake and Virginia Beach campuses. Single Stop is an online tool that connects our students to resources. We also have case managers who work in those offices to make sure that our students are connected to the resources that they need so that they can be successful while they're here at TCC. You heard VP Bryant talk about TCC Proud and our students and how much they need you. They need you. They need you. They need you. And many of our students will not share what's going on in their world or in their lives, but know that there probably is something going on that you can certainly help them by directing them to the appropriate resources. We also have a career collection. So any students who are in need, they need a suit or a pants outfit or a tie in order to interview or for a meeting. We certainly have clothing available for those students. Student Life continues to do a phenomenal work. Wow, they really engage our students and they connect them well, not only by challenging them, but by supporting them, by bringing people in to not only answer their questions and show how committed we are to their life and to their work and to their thoughts, and to create a platform where they can have a meaningful discussion. Certainly our associate directors over the student centers are working hard to make sure that we continue to engage our students through programming. And so in 21-22, we had some really heavy hitters come in and talk to our students, and I'm just so proud of the work that they've done. And then coming up for this year, please know that we have already over 170 student engagement opportunities. They will be in person and they will be virtual. So know that we're continuing to do this work to make sure that we have advocacy and awareness months advertised and published. Please come out to these events, clubs and organizations, leadership opportunities. We'll have all that available for our students. We're also working with other BCCS institutions now. So they participate in our events and we participate in their events. And so we look forward to what they will continue to do. This is an example of what's coming. Hispanic and Heritage Month. It will be starting September the 15th, but know that for every Advocacy and Awareness Month, we have programming already lined up and ready to go. And so I know you can't see this, but please look for these events being advertised. I mentioned Dr. Misty Lyon. She is the Dean of Enrollment Management here. Thanks to the vision of our leader, Dr. Constant, we have a position now at the college that truly focuses on enrollment. She collaborates with faculty and deans and academics and marketing to make sure everything happens well. But she's also developing partnerships. And so these are admission program partnerships. We are working with Virginia Wesleyan, James Madison University, Old Dominion University, and Norfolk State University. I will summarize what we're doing here. What we're doing is students who applied to one of these colleges and they were not admitted for whatever reason, maybe they were denied, maybe they're on the wait list, we connect with the institutions to make sure we can connect with these students, to encourage them to come to TCC, to let them know they can still get to their four-year institution of choice, but we certainly can support them while they are, by taking courses here. We also have some additional upcoming recruiting events. You will see more recruiting events taking place across the college. Specifically, I wanted to talk with you about our late start enrollment days. These days are intentional to increase enrollment in the late start sessions. So now we have late 10-week and 7-week and 5-week, and we want to make sure we're recruiting students and letting them know that they can certainly enroll in the late start sessions. We also have visit days scheduled. These are days that are, they're targeted toward our high school population, but they are for everyone. And I say they're targeted toward high school population because the days that have been selected, high school students are not at the high school. It's a day off or a teacher work day or spring break or something of that nature. So they would more than likely be available to come to the campuses to not only meet you, but to experience college life. We also had an online new student orientation. I told you about this last year. We have launched that. And what it is, it's an orientation program so that our students can go online and actually learn more about the college by going through the orientation program. We have embedded this program into the SDB 100 and 108 courses. We wanted to get feedback from students to see if we needed to make any tweaks before fully implementing it here at the college. We have received wonderful feedback. We will continue to embed those in the SDB courses for the fall. We are also, though, offering orientation sessions in person. So in person and via Zoom. As you can imagine, as we are coming out of COVID, we are having to offer our students several options, as you do with your courses. We are doing the same with student services. And so they have the opportunity to be in person or live Zoom sessions. We also have an advising institute for our advisors and our counselors. They will have the opportunity to receive professional development. Dr. Hardy is leading this effort, and we have one scheduled for the fall and one for the spring. We're also launching some mentoring programs here at TCC. You heard VP Asen talk about retention and how it is important, and so is recruiting new students to the college. So Willie Williams is the new coordinator. He's the coordinator of retention, and he's new to the college. And he is spearheading the mentoring programs here at TCC. One of the programs is working with the Greater Norfolk Corporation. We're excited about that opportunity because we're partnering with other colleges in the area as well. That program will start small with 15 students. But the mentoring program at TCC, there's a Voices program, and there will also be a Champions for Change program. So listen for those programs because I know he will need support. He will need some of us to offer to mentor, to connect with students, and to coach students. So you will hear more about that. And then we have the Department of Public Safety. Mike Powell is doing a wonderful job training folks and launching the Poor Lead program. So a couple of things. If you want to volunteer for that program, we are still asking for volunteers. Please see him if you're interested. All you have to do is make sure people get out of the building. That's it. So we could certainly use your help, really. And I know some of you are very interested in that. We're going to start training with that particular program. There's training that will take place on the campuses, so you know exactly what to do. You'll know the evacuation points. You know how to lead people out of the buildings, etc. We do have a safety and security plan. It is posted on SharePoint. You can access that plan, and it will certainly help you to know what to do in cases of emergency. You have in your, I don't know, they're not in your packets, but there is a flyer that you should certainly make sure you pick this up. I think they're out there at the tables, but pick up this flyer, which will give you some additional information about safety and security. We're also having college-wide training programs. So we have had tabletops at each of the campuses, and the executive staff, PC was involved in a tabletop as well. We're going to continue those tabletops to include command center tabletop training as well. There's also active threat training that is already posted in SharePoint, but Mike is going to continue those active threat training sessions as well. And there's going to be radio training sessions for those of you who carry a radio. We know that you need to know how to use the radio. So I'm excited about the work that he will continue to do. Look for more information as we move forward. The OmniGo community app. So the information that's on this slide is on the handout. And that's why I'm telling you to go ahead and pick it up. Because if you have not downloaded this app, you need to do so. It will help you because you can certainly get more information about the resources available to you, but you can contact security if you need assistance or if you need to report something, you can use this app to do this. And so the PIN number is located here as well. And then I'll leave you with this. I shared this before. We actually have the dates that are scheduled. The World of Works. It's October 25th through the 27th. This is exciting because we're partnering with so many people in the city of Chesapeake, and we will have over 3,000 right here at the Chesapeake campus. Dr. Emily Hartman is serving on the committee, the city committee that is coordinating and organizing this event. Our next step is she will lead a TCC committee that will make sure we are ready for this work. So deans and faculty, get ready. I'm sure she's going to reach out to you. And we're going to have folks serving on that committee so that we can plan for what's next. And so those are the updates that I have for student affairs. And now it is my pleasure and my honor to be able to introduce what I heard was used, the bubbly, dedicated, hardworking VP of Workforce Solutions, VP Tamar Williams.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm gonna try to be bubbly, and Dr. Woodhouse is gonna get me because I don't have any jokes and I don't want no smoke, okay? But it is just an honor to be here. And, you know, I can't say I'm the new kid on the block because Chris beat me. But I will say that these past 2 years have been amazing. I could not have made a better choice to be at TCC. So when Chris talked about TCC Proud, this is truly, truly TCC Proud. I am so proud to be here. We do a lot of work. And Chris, I got you. I got something for you. We got these things called bonuses coming, and I am pledging it. I have not talked to my husband yet, so don't no one tell him, but we are good. We are on this, and that's gonna be on top of my pledge that I do payroll deduction. So TCC Proud. I wish I had $1 million. I would give it to TCC because our students deserve it. So with that said, I'm going to get into my remarks. They make me laugh because they say I talk fast. So I'm going to make this kind of quick. I want to put a shout out to my team. We're small, we're mighty. I always tease, there's 2 of us, but there's a few of us. And they do great work. And so what I'm going to share with you today could not be done without the workforce team. And so if you're here, stand up and please let us give you an applause. Just a few. I'm going to show you some pretty faces here. I think so. So we've got Laura, I'm not gonna go over their titles, Laura, Anthony, Alejandra, Cody, Adrian, and Emily, and we have some new faces, and I'm so glad that we were able to hire a few new people. Sarge, he's not new. He's the welding instructor. He's not new, but he's new to the Skilled Trades Academy. He is our full-time welding, our only full-time instructor, full-time welding instructor. He does a fantastic job. We have Teresa Romanelli. She is our new career coach. We have Mike Vanderolf, and he is our new full-time skilled trades program manager, and he is just setting the place on fire. Not literally, but he's setting the place on fire. He's taking it to a whole new level. And we have Alicia Boda. She's been with the college for quite some time, but she is new in her role. She is currently being assigned as the fiscal specialist for workforce. So please, if you see these new old faces, please give them a welcome. There's a lot of words on this slide. I am not going to read this slide to you, but I want to let those new folks in the room, I say this every year, what are we about in the workforce? It's twofold. We want to make sure that we are preparing a well-rounded, qualified talent pipeline for the Hampton Roads area. That's one. Secondly, we want to make sure that we are preparing people for economic prosperity through education and employment. It's twofold. It's very simple. You can go online and read that, but we have a true mission, and we are putting people to work quickly with short-term certifications. So that's what we do for all you new folks at TCC. I'm going to briefly go through a couple of highlights. There's 5 things that happened during the year. Amazing things. We had a great year in workforce. We worked hard, and we worked really hard, and we made these things happen. We had a significant enrollment increase. We completed the renovations of the Skilled Trades Academy. We rolled out a mobile welding lab, and we secured new grants with the assistance of the grants office. And I'll talk a little bit about these. So our enrollment growth, what did we actually do? So here are our numbers, and I am not Kurt Asen. I will not present this like Kurt, but we've done some great things. In registrations, we are up 22.4%. So that means that our change from last year is 778 more registrations. We are up in unduplicated headcount, 18%. So what that means is we've served 321 students last year. And then fast forward, many of you heard me talk about fast forward. Fast forward is a state-funded free or reduced tuition for students looking for short-term training in certain areas. We are up in fast forward enrollments, 29.82%. That means that we served 185 new students last year. So we're excited about this enrollment growth. Thank you. It's hard work. And again, at the end of the day, it's not about us, about the students that we're serving. There's so many jobs out there. There's so many opportunities, and we are going to get out there and make sure that people are ready for work. So this is the Skilled Trades renovation. We completed this time last year. We actually offered our first class in August of 2021. We served over 200 students, and we have 20 new state-of-the-art welding booths. We have industry training. We have plumbing, pipe fitting, coatings. We have done some things with assembly line training, forklift training, logistics, and most importantly, we have weekend and evening classes at the Skilled Trades Academy. I would encourage you to come and take a look at our facility. It's great, and Mike, who is our new program manager, he will be glad to show you around. He loves showing off the place. So come on by and check out the Skilled Trades Academy. So what else contributes to this enrollment growth? Well, I will tell you that we added several new programs, CDL, EKG, phlebotomy, advanced welding. So you get welding, we had welding for a long time. Now we have more advanced levels 2 and 3, flagger and logistics. All of those new programs contributed to the growth in workforce solutions. We also had classes that are not fast forward approved that we added to our portfolio. We had Intro to Wind Energy that we offered to high school students and some teachers. We have leadership track. We had drone certification. I think we had 3 or 4 classes come through to get certified in drone. And we had customer service. And so as we continue to build our workforce area, it's important that we get the word out. And so what you might not know is that a few months ago, we started doing a monthly workforce power hour. And it's Zoom, you Zoom in, And we tell you all about the fantastic things that we have in workforce. And it's 1 hour, 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. You may see, Naima's kind of pushed it out there, but please join those sessions if you can. You'll learn about workforce, you'll learn about our programs, and you'll hear all the new initiatives that are going on. So, and I have to kind of do a shout out to Cody. This was Cody's brainchild. He's like, I'm gonna do this and we're gonna get more people in. And I think over the last couple of months, we had 50 people kind of attend our Zoom sessions, all right? Mobile welding unit, this is a way to make sure that we're increasing our access to students who can't get over to the Portsmouth campus. It is a partnership with TCC. It is our mobile welding lab. It's a partnership with the city of Norfolk. They actually help us with the recruitment, and an industry partner. Right now, the partner is Lion Shipyard, so the mobile unit is parked on Lion Shipyard. The goal is to have the students complete the training, get certification, and walk right into their job at Lion Shipyard. We're gonna keep the mobile unit at Lion Shipyard till the end of the year. Then we have another industry partner in Norfolk that is waiting in line to have that mobile unit transferred to their location. We're so excited about a way to get people out, get them right to the job, and this partnership is definitely a win-win. And I'm encouraging my team to take this out on the road and share and do proposals and do presentations about this partnership. We have served 23 students and a really high employment rate. Most of those students have gone to work right at Lion Shipyard. And I want to talk about one of our students. Dr. Constant talked about Jasmine earlier when she had her remarks. Jasmine was fantastic. Jasmine went into a crowd like this as a student, and there were plenty of college presidents there, legislators. The room was filled with CEOs, all types of people, and they all made remarks, but it was Jasmine that stole the show. Jasmine got a standing ovation, and I am not going to do her justice. I'm going to tell her story a little bit, but Jasmine is a current TCC student. She's in our carpentry class, and Mike, who's standing next to Teresa, you saw this picture earlier, he saw something in Jasmine. He connected her to her employer, Precon, the guy with the bald head, and she is working there. So she is a student at TCC. She's completing her carpentry certification, but she already has a job. And so it was because of that connection of Mike and the employer that she is working before she even completed her certification. And she told the crowd that she was looking to enhance her life. She has 2 young boys that she takes care of, and she was looking for a change. And she found success and a job through TCC. She did a wonderful job. She also said that she is breaking barriers. She is breaking barriers to the construction world, and she's a woman, and she's a Black woman. And she told that story, and everyone stood up to their feet. And as Dr. Constance said, they're talking about it on her president's meeting, and Jasmine is why we do what we do. Jasmine is one of 1,000. There's probably 1,000 Jasmines out there, but that's why we're here. And that's why we do what we do. Every single day, we make sure that students are prepared and they get an opportunity to walk right into employment. So we're so proud of Jasmine. All right, so grants. I have to send a special, I'm looking right at you, Dr. Snyder. Her office helps workforce so much. We can't thank you enough for all the grants that you have helped us get to help these students. And we're gonna bring you more. There's so many opportunities, but without Dr. Snyder and her grants team, we could not do some of the work that we do in workforce. So thank you so very much for all you do, and you keep us going. So thank you so much. But over the year, we secured over $900,000 in grants. And I will tell you the majority of those grants, probably 100% of those grants, are to serve underrepresented populations. So we're so excited, and we're gonna have another fantastic year with grants. So thank you. You heard a lot about Rivers Dealer School. They are here and we are doing training. We have our first cohort. They started August the 8th. They will be there for 8 weeks. They'll be ending up October the 4th. And there's about 268 students who are currently on the Portsmouth campus training. They contacted me last week and said, hey, tomorrow we have another 300 students, so we need to do another cohort. So the second cohort will start September the 6th and go right through November the 1st. And then upon completion, they will get a completion of certification from TCC Workforce. So we're happy about that. They'll have a TCC certification. And there's additional training that VP Hardeman talked about that we're going to start to explore, and probably you'll see some more training happening with Rivers. So what's on the horizon for us? We have 3 priorities that are top priorities. We want to continue to increase our workforce enrollment. We want to continue to increase our access and training capacity. And we want to create more industry partnerships. And so we're going to do that by creating new programs this year. You'll see a lot of new programs roll out of workforce. We are expanding the Skilled Trades Academy. So you have to get over and see what's there now. And so this time next year, you can say, oh, I've been over there and they've expanded 13,000 square feet. We're going to have new programs in the new building. I told my colleagues that we really need the whole entire plaza. As I think about the programs that are going to go into the 13,000 additional square feet, we're probably already out of space. And so, Chris Bryant, we need that whole plaza. How about that? You're on it because you're raising money. And we also want to increase more industry partners. As you think about our students, they come through our programs, whether it's on the academic side or the workforce side, and they want employment. So as we build relationships with industry partners, we're able to say, hey, we know a student, Jasmine, who could come and work for you right away. So we want more industry partnerships. So those are our 3 bubbles. And my workforce folks are saying, you didn't mention all 16 priorities that you've laid out for us for the year. I won't do that to you today, but we do have a lot of priorities and opportunities, all 16 of them, that we need to get done in this next year. To that, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. It's without the collaboration, this would not happen. So thank you all for all that your support. And Dr. Constant, I do have to, Dr. Sledger already told you to get ready for this. This would not happen. Anything that you heard from our President's Cabinet today would not happen without the leadership of Dr. Constant. So let's give her another round of applause. Thank you, Dr. Constant. And I think with that, we are taking a 3-minute stretch before the next budget item. 3 minutes.
Convocation. At this time, please join me in welcoming Dr. Constant back to the stage. Dr. Constant.
We're going to move forward with our recognitions, our awards, and our dedications. So, okay, very good. Thank you all so much. So I will say that we do have an awesome cabinet. They gave great updates this morning. Thank you all very much, Vice Presidents. But what I observed was that the Vice Presidents reported on the great things that you all are doing. So they were really just the mouthpieces saying all of these wonderful things that are happening at the college. But I want to applaud the faculty and staff who are here this morning, and those of you who are not here, and those of you who are in, what do you call it, Chris, the press boxes, just to let you all know how much we appreciate you and how much we recognize the great things that are going forward at your hands. So this is for you. This is for you. So now I think it's time to celebrate, and we're going to move forward with special recognitions and awards. And this is for years of service. On each campus and at district administration, employees who have met 5 through 45-year milestones in their careers here at TCC have received formal recognition. This morning, I would like to take this opportunity to thank these honorees for their contributions to the college. The names of all honorees can be found in your program. So with all those employees who are celebrating a milestone, 5, 10, 15, 20, or 25 years of service, please stand. Thank you to each and every one of you. Your dedication and your service to the college certainly are deeply appreciated. And next, we would like to honor 8 employees who have been with TCC or with the Commonwealth of Virginia for 30, 35, 40, and 50 years. And I will ask that you come to the stage and be presented with a pin, which I understand has been mailed to you. So we will like to have a photo op with you this morning. To begin, we have 4 employees who are celebrating 30 years of service to the college. First of all, from Virginia Beach, Miss Deborah Edson, Assistant Professor of Spanish. Okay, I understand Deborah is not here. Next, from District Administration, is Mara Mayor. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it correctly. Mayor Anna. Is that correct or pretty close? Okay. Information Systems Manager in Information Systems. Is Myra here? Next, from the Suffolk Center, Lois Rollins, Administrative and Office Specialist from Workforce Solutions. And now, from the Norfolk Campus and District Administration, Russell Smith, Custodial Services Manager in Facilities. Okay, thank you all for your service. And so we'll certainly acknowledge them in person when we see them. Our next 2 employees are celebrating 35 years of service. First, from District Administration, David Hodge, Canvas Support Technician in Academic Affairs. From the Virginia Beach campus, Jean Natali, Dr. Natali, Director of Student Resources and Parents. I see you, Dr. Natali, come on up. Thank you so much for all you've done for our students, Dr. Natali. Our next employee is celebrating 40 years of service. From the Norfolk campus, Jacqueline Jordan, Financial Aid Advisor, Instructor of Financial. And lastly, let's celebrate and recognize an employee celebrating 50 years of service to the college. From the Virginia Beach campus, Robert Maynard, Mathematics and Industrial Technologies, Associate Professor in the Division of Engineering, 50 years. And to all of these employees, thank you all for everything you've done for our students and our staff and our community here at Tidewater Community College. At this time, I would like to recognize faculty and staff members who have been promoted. Again, all of your names can be found in your program. Would all those who are present who have been promoted please stand to be recognized? Congratulations. Thank you for taking on additional responsibilities. Thank you so much. Next, we would like to recognize faculty and staff members who have completed degrees this past academic year. Would you please stand and be recognized? That is absolutely wonderful. Congratulations and thank you so much. Now we would like to recognize new employees to TCC who have been with the college since the fall of 2021, as well as TCC employees who have recently been rehired or taken on full-time positions. New employees, we welcome you. We ask that you would stand. Congratulations. Thank you for choosing TCC. You, as you obviously see, are with a great family here. So welcome to TCC. Thank you so much for joining us. So next, we would like to have the MLK Award recognition. Each year, the college recognizes a member of the TCC community whose life and service exemplify the teachings and examples of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., advocating a nonviolent approach to solving society's problems, fostering positive race relationships in our community, striving to remove the social, political, and economic barriers of inequality, and possessing a realistic optimism for a better future for all. The recipient of the 2022 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Award, it's called the College Distinguished Service Award, is Ms. Annette Newborn, Professor of English at the Virginia. We want to congratulate Professor Newborn, thank her for everything that she's done and for the service that she's rendering to our community. So thank you very much. And we'll all acknowledge her when we see her for sure. Next, we have emeritus appointments. Emeritus status acknowledges truly outstanding and significant contribution over the last 10 years to TCC by faculty and staff who have previously retired. Emeritus appointments are conferred by the TCC College Board. So if you're present, please rise as your names are called. Emmanuel Chestnut Jr., Dean of the Norfolk Campus and Student Support Services. Jacqueline Decino, Associate Professor and Librarian at the Portsmouth Campus. Dr. Ann Pinkerton, Professor of Biology at the Norfolk Campus. Ms. Sarah Swagger, Information Center Manager at District Administration. Cynthia Welch, Enrollment Supervisor at the Chesapeake Campus. and Kay Williams, Director of Open Door at the Norfolk campus. So we want to recognize all of these individuals who have earned emeritus status. And I will tell you that just a few weeks ago, we had a retiree ceremony luncheon, and they were all there. And we had the opportunity to recognize and fellowship with many of them at that time. So congratulations to all of those individuals who have earned emeritus status. Let's just recognize them again. Next, we would like to acknowledge our governance leadership group. So governance leadership recognition is given each year to members of the college community who have made exemplary contributions to shared governance during the past academic year by leading one of the governance committees. For those of you who are present, we will ask that you please come to receive your award as your names are called. Classified Assembly, Ms. Barbara Benson Ratliff. Next, we have Curriculum Committee, Thomas Sigmund. Thomas here. Distance Learning and Technology Committee, Andrea Pierman. Faculty Professional Development Committee, Jean Hopkins. Faculty Senate, college-wide, Dr. Tiffany Sledge. Let's give Dr. Sledge a Faculty Senate, Chesapeake Campus, Mr. David Ring. Faculty Senate, Norfolk Campus, Ms. Sarah DeCalagero. Where's Sarah? Faculty Senate, Portsmouth Campus, Ms. Deborah Dart. Faculty Senate, Virginia Beach Campus, Danya Sinabadi. General Education Committee, Laura Tedrow. Global and Intercultural Learning Committee, Sandra Bryant. Instruction Committee, Deborah Dart and Michael Blankenship. Internal Relations Committee, Mary Beth Apperson. President's Advisory and Planning Committee, Sarah DeCalagero. Student Success Committee, Dr. Thomas Chapman. And last but not least, Workforce Solutions Committee, Mr. Anthony Hunt. All of you, thank you so much for your service to the college, as well as to your colleagues. Thank you very much. And now we would like to recognize TCC employees who have distinguished themselves in unique ways. These employees were nominated and selected by their peers for their exemplary contributions to TCC's mission. They are seated here in the front row, and I would like to ask you to join me on stage now. First of all, we have the Support Staff Employee of the Year. These awards recognize a full-time classified member and a wage employee who have advanced the college's mission and goals, as well as demonstrated effective leadership in support of the college's vision and core values. Brad Brad Hooker, Warehouse Supervisor, is the Classified Employee of the Year. Mention that Brad was recognized by the college's Classified Association for his innovative leadership in overseeing TCC's warehouse operations. As warehouse supervisor for close to a decade, he developed processes to keep the warehouse operating effectively and in support of the needs of the college community. So thank you so much. Alice Robinson, Office Assistant for the Arts and Humanities Pathway at the Norfolk campus, is the Wage Employee of the Year. Alice has worked at TCC for 19 years and is an alumni of TCC's Administrative Support Technology Program. As the Office Assistant for the Arts and Humanities Pathway, Robinson greets students and ensures that their questions are answered promptly and accurately. So thank you so much to Mr. Hooker and Ms. Robinson for all that you do for us. I have invited Dr. Woodhouse to come to the stage at this time to present the Faculty Senate Awards.
Thank you, Dr. Constant. At this time, we will now recognize faculty, full-time and adjunct teaching faculty members who have demonstrated excellence in teaching, as well as full-time teaching or professional faculty member who has provided exceptional service to students, the college, or the community. Nominations are provided by students, faculty, peers, deans, supervisor, and community members. First, we'd like to recognize Mr. Thomas Gary, Professor of English at Virginia Beach campus. He is Tidewater Community College's Professor of the Year. Dr. Thomas. Was chosen by the Faculty Senate and was also recognized with the 2022 Outstanding Faculty Award by the State Council of Higher Education and Dominion Energy. He is one of 12 recipients out of 85 nominees recognized in Virginia for the award. Dr. Gary has been teaching at the college since 2012. Please extend the warm congratulations to him. Our Outstanding Adjunct Faculty Award goes to Dr. Jeffrey Acosta. He is not able to be with us today, but that's right. He is an instructor of U.S. history and world history at the Norfolk campus. Jeff Acosta is a historian with a varied background that includes 38 years of service with the active and reserve components of the U.S. Marine Corps that included 3 combat tours and 2 tours of duty as a field historian. He also spent 11 years as a curator for the MacArthur Memorial and 13 years as a defense analyst for General Dynamics. With each of his lessons, Mr. Acosta aims to incorporate the rich diversity of the people and the events of history. This includes lessons that cover both tragedies and triumphs of the human race. Congratulations, Jeff Acosta. Lastly, we have Stacy Forgy, Professor of Biology at Portsmouth. Dr. Forgy is receiving the Faculty Special Achievement Award. Dr. Forgy is being honored for her innovative teaching and dedication to student development. She has worked on 2 special projects last year that contributed to her nomination. Working with faculty member Dr. Lynette Hauser, Forgy collected and analyzed a large data set that compared the final grade in science courses for non-science majors. In the research, Dr. Forgy completed logistic regression to identify factors important for student success in our science courses. Dr. Forgy wrote a presentation to share the findings that noted the environmental science courses led to the higher success rate than biology courses due to the breadth of the topics presented. The research revealed disparities in success based on race, age, and gender. Congratulations, Dr. Forgy. The TCC Faculty Senate gives professional recognition to colleagues who have demonstrated professional excellence in college and community service, institutional responsibility, scholarly and creative engagement, and teaching. Their names are listed in your program. If you are present, please stand. The Faculty Senate also gives specific awards to faculty who have distinguished themselves through community impact, leadership, scholarly, and creative engagement in teaching. Will those who are present this morning please come forward, or shall I say this afternoon, to receive your awards. For the Faculty Community Impact Award, we have Ivory Warren, Human Services at the Norfolk campus. Dr. Ivory Warren. For the Faculty Leadership Award, we have Kevin Brady, Dr. Kevin Brady, History at the Chesapeake campus. We also have Robert Lamar in the nursing program from the Virginia Beach campus. Please come forward. I'm happy to see somebody talking here and you're coming up. This is great. Thank you. After Ms. Brevard, we would like to recognize Elizabeth Briggs from the Chesapeake campus. While Elizabeth comes to the stage, we'd like to recognize Dr. Maureen Cahill, reading at the Virginia Beach campus. Dr. Cahill. Dr. Cahill cannot be with us, but we'd also like to recognize Casey Clements, chemistry from the Virginia Beach campus. Should I mention that Kathleen is in physical therapy at Virginia Beach campus? Now we'll go to Kathleen Santo, physical therapy from the Virginia Beach campus. Come on forward. I got ahead of myself. Next, we have Dr. Megan Talaferro from the Vet Tech Program, Virginia Beach campus. And rounding out this category is Mike Williams, biology, the Portsmouth campus. Come on now. For the Faculty Scholarly and Creative Engagement Award, this award goes to Dr. Sandra Bryant, speech from the Virginia Beach campus, and Michelle Merritt's English at the Virginia Beach campus. And for the Faculty Teaching Achievement Awards, I'm going to call your name and ask you to come forward. First, we have Kevin Brady, Dr. Kevin Brady, if you could come forward. We also have Dr. Sandra Bryant again. We have Eugenia Harrison, Mathematics at the Chesapeake campus. David Kirikoff from History at the Chesapeake campus. Dr. Andrea Palosomo, Psychology at the Virginia Beach campus. And Adrell Robinson, Mathematics from the Chesapeake campus, and Laura Sanders, Psychology, Virginia Beach campus. Would you all please come forward to receive your awards? I need another bag. Let's give all of our awardees another huge round of applause. Back over to Dr. Constant.
Well, again, congratulations to all of you, and I'm just so delighted to see all of our faculty members so engaged. Thank you all for what you're doing. Thank you so much. And now I think it's time to celebrate. Uh-oh, what's going on? Wait a minute, what's going on? Well, I think it's time to celebrate the new school year.
Nothing to see here.
I know. So let me ask everyone if you will put your sunglasses on here. If you did have some, I can't see if I put these on. what we want to do is to kind of celebrate the start of a new year. And I can't see with the sunglasses on. Can't see my notes here. But it simply says, may this year be filled with academic achievement, community involvement, and positivity. So let us all put our sunglasses on and maybe toast to celebrate. So much for celebrating with us this morning. Thank you for all of the great work that you have been successful starting this. Thank you all. Yeah. We have one final announcement from our faculty senate.
All righty, how we doing? Good, yeah, good. Wear those sunglasses because a couple years ago, a couple of you accosted me outside over where I got these sunglasses from, so let's wear them. All righty, again, thank you all for coming. Everyone who attended in person, those of you who are attending virtually, we thank you. A couple of housekeeping items. If you'll look up here at either of these prompters, you'll see the locations of your respective pathway meetings. So please make sure you make note of that. And a teaching moment, everyone get out your calendar, your phone, etc. Those wonderful calendars we got. I messed up, I didn't bring mine up here. Thank you. All right, if you will please. What'd you say? You know I can't hear. Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, don't forget to grab lunch. We won't forget that, Doc. Okay. All right. If you will please turn in your wonderful calendars that we received to March 2023. You'll note that we have a wonderful weekend planned March 16th through the 18th. Please make sure that you are aware that that is changed to March 31st through April 1st. And these are important events. We'll be celebrating 55 years of academic excellence here at TCC. 55 years. And we will also have the privilege of celebrating the investiture of Dr. Constant. So there'll be lots of events planned for that weekend. Please make sure that you remain abreast of all of the announcements that come out. And we would love to see absolutely everyone attend these events. But again, that's changed. What's the date? Yes, you all are excellent teachers and staff members, administrators, because everybody got that right. Thank you all so much. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. It was wonderful seeing you all.